We got to work getting familiar with the surrounding area from the overhead views of the pictures. Any idea we had about places that might be used for hideouts or holding areas, the team has already searched. But with the knowledge that scents cannot be tracked, they could very well be hiding in plain sight, and we would never know. We also started talking about what they could be using to block their scents, since the girls that have been taken have also had their trails go cold. It is more than likely the work of a powerful witch, or, according to George, most likely a coven of witches working together. But no one has heard of a spell like that. That is where the other two in the group come in. Alyssa and William have been contacting and working with covens near us to try and figure out what is working against our sense of smell. They have both been gone for the last month studying and learning. William took the more treacherous route, going northeast nearest to the Canadian border and most likely where the rogues are. Alyssa took the western part of the state where a large coven is. These witches have almost completely immersed themselves into the human cities and towns in the area. They have a really good handle on intermixing and keeping their existence a secret. They also have some of the most powerful leaders and elders that our group has found. Everything I have ever heard about the different species is that none of us get along, so we never work together or socialize in any way. But it seems like at least some of us can intermix without a problem. I'm sure everything I have heard is from idiots, like my dad, who have been taught their species is the best and only species that should be around. Your standard run-of-the-mill racism doing its job to spread hate. My dad also can't stand that I am a female and want to be a warrior, not a breeding machine. So I shouldn't be surprised with other types of discrimination. I have never had any interactions with species other than werewolves, so I can't say whose opinions are right or better or whatever. But I do know that there are several werewolves that I love and many I hate. So I'm sure it would be the same with anyone else. Alyssa and William are currently working to find what type of spell, or more likely potion, is being used to mask not only the rogue's personal scent, but also the scent of their victim. They are both getting help from different coven leaders, but witches keep their information close and don't like to share with outsiders. Getting into their inner circles to even ask about things like that is hard and takes time, which is why everyone here is so agitated. They can't do anything until we have more information and something to work with. Warriors don't do well with downtime of any kind. Now that you have an idea of what we have been working on for the last 8 months, this is where you both come in. George starts. We are going to take you into the cities where the most activity has been, the most kidnappings. Warrior Osistan takes over. Clearly they are looking for a female, but there isn't a pattern of what they are looking for specifically. So we are working under the assumption that they just need women. We have looked into each female that has been reported missing. There is always a possibility that the female is being used to control or blackmail her mate or family if they are high-ranking, but they are of all different ranks and backgrounds, no connections that we can see yet. George jumps in again. The problem is that we don't think all of the women that have gone missing have been reported. Many times high-ranking wolves will work in-house because enemies will use that distraction to attack. Nicholas scoffs. Is it just Alpha King Reggie's kingdom that is being attacked? Are other kings having the same problem? Have all the attacks happened in Royal Pack territory? Mina fires off questions. It's almost like we can read each other's thoughts. Although when I remember that I can actually mind link, maybe I have been feeding my own exact same questions to her through it. That's the thing. We all have attacks and people trying to overthrow their king for whatever reason. But this seems to be directed specifically at us. So we have to assume it is directed towards Alpha King Reggie. George says, looking worried for the first time since we entered the room. For the next couple of weeks, we will get you brought up to speed with all of our intel. As much as it seems like we don't know anything, we have made some progress. It's really the location of the rogues and their captives that we can't seem to get. Any rogues we capture die before we can question them. Another thing, we need to figure out how they are doing because it's not any form of suicide that we can tell. Osiston says, leaning forward in his chair. You will still do your school days as normal. Your training will happen here with us unless you are out on recon missions. We travel at night and you will travel by vehicle to keep your sense hidden as much as possible. Why do we need to keep it hidden that we are here? I ask. As far as I can tell, we aren't off Royal Pack territory, so it shouldn't matter. This location is a black site. None of the trainees know that it is here, and we want it to stay that way. As trainees yourself, there are still things that we need to teach you about masking, and we don't need anyone catching your sense by accident on patrols and trying to follow you here. He looks at me and I feel the weight of the implication. Audrina would follow me here to try and find a reason to get me in trouble or kicked out, and she would definitely make a big deal about my being on this mission, while her high and mightiness is still stuck at the training compound. Let's run. We can show you our boundaries and get your time in. Nicholas stands like his pants are on fire. We are getting deep into the fall and our recon missions have been going well, I think. I still don't know what information we are getting, and I have the feeling it is meant to be that way. I guess I can see the appeal behind our lack of knowledge since the idea is for us to be taken. We really don't know much. I haven't noticed anything out of the ordinary as Mina and I walk through the streets of different neighborhoods and cities near where the most girls are being kidnapped. Mina and I spend almost every weekend staying in a rental property with Nicholas posing as our uncle. The backstory for the humans is we are looking at the university. For the wolves, we are traveling for Mina to find her mate. Hoping both stories get us noticed, we aren't super shy or reclusive. We both talk to everyone and play up the girl vibe, as Nicholas calls it. I am so exhausted after we are out all day acting like that. Who knew being social could burn you out more than training? But it is working to get us noticed, and I am being pushed, no thrown, out of my comfort zone acting like this and wearing trendy clothes, going to restaurants, shops, and other heavily attended areas around Orono, which is the closest city to the University of Maine campus. What Mina and I have gathered by accidentally overhearing bits and pieces of conversations is that some of the clubs and bars near campus and in Orono are becoming heavily attended recently by an unusually high amount of new guys to the area. Most around college age, so the humans aren't really suspicious yet, since we are in the middle of a semester. But we know they are wolves. Some smell like rogues, but not all of them, which is making us suspicious. No one has approached us, but that might be because of our chaperone, who is less than pleased when any male walks our way. Nicholas is playing his protective part a little too well, but it does give us an excuse to rebel a little. We haven't done anything yet, but we do plan on returning to this area in January, with Mina attending classes at the university. If anyone asks, I'm being homeschooled until I can join her. It's the most plausible story we have. So Mina and I have come up with a few ways to sneak out and meet up with a few of the other girls we have met while walking around when we get back. We have our rental until the Thanksgiving holiday, and then we need to move on for a bit to make our mate story more believable. There are several conservation areas in this state and surrounding our position. While we have been working the people here, the rest of the team has been fanning out, working methodically to search them for any signs of rogue camps or hideouts. They keep coming up empty-handed, but that also could be the masking thing they have going on too. I think everything is truly riding on Mina and I being taken. That is where we are going to get answers. I don't know how I feel about that though. I know we have plans in place, so our attackers won't get far with us, no matter how sedated or subdued we are. And we get to be temporarily branded sometime after the Thanksgiving break so they can track us. Since Mina will be 18 soon, I think whoever is holding up the branding process was waiting and hoping for her to find her mate, which would effectively put a stop to this part of the operation, since no one in their right mind would let me out alone for this. Nicholas and Osiston got their way though, since we venture further and further from them as we explore the city. They can't be with us all the time, and our mind link only goes so far. The magic of the brand is it covers any distance, and Nicholas more than anyone has been fighting for us to get it done. Especially now that we are in this mission fully. I can't wait to go back to the compound. I want to train and run hard. My body needs it. I feel so lazy right now. I whine at Mina in our shared room of the rental property. We just got back from shopping and meeting up for dinner with some other college freshmen we met a couple weeks ago. We have managed to keep people friendly, but at a distance. We don't go to people's houses and they don't come to ours. Having an overprotective uncle is doing wonders to keep a certain level of separation. I can't wait to go back and use the hot tub. My feet are killing me. You were the idiot who chose to wear heels to the mall. I scoff at her, but she smiles right back. Yeah, but it got their attention, didn't it? I roll my eyes. Of course it did. Your legs look a mile long with them on and that short skirt. I still can't force myself to wear those. These shorts are bad enough. There's barely enough material to cover my hoo-ha. What are you talking about? You wear skimpier stuff to training. Those shorts are nothing. My training gear isn't going to intrigue anybody. We all wear the same stuff. It's a uniform. This stuff we wear to the mall and everywhere else is a choice I would not normally make on my own. Yeah, but you have to admit, they look good on you. You have this tiny, totally ripped body that you only show off during training. You really need to show it off more. You work too hard to hide it under the baggy crap you like to lounge in. Have your boys seen you in normal clothes? She air quotes at me. They have seen me in lots of stuff. I had to dress up for a couple things for Luna Ava. They've seen me in that kind of stuff. But they haven't seen you recently, have they? I mean, you haven't had the chance to message them while we have been on assignment. And I know you only sent the one letter after they all wrote you separately. You have put on some weight and gotten more definition since I met you. I'm sure you will look completely different to them. She waggles her eyebrows at me. I can't wait for them to see you all glammed up the way Luna Queen Anne does. I bet they will all fall over from heart attacks. She's laughing at the prospect now. She's had more than a couple conversations with Sierra while we have been at school, and apparently Sierra has some insight to my interactions with the guys she didn't even bother to tell me. Now Mina likes to give me a hard time the way she does at their supposed infatuation. Okay, stop. You're making it weird now. They are my brother and friends. None of them see me as more than a little sister. And that is still only a year in the making. Before that, I was nothing to them. All the more reason to learn to flaunt it tastefully. Let them know what they are missing. She laughs again as I throw a pillow at her. Okay, for real, enough now. I need to finish this assignment. You may not care about your grades, but mine can't slip. That is one of the stipulations of my being here. I have to stay ahead, no matter how distracting you are. I have been emailing in most of my assignments and logging in when the teacher can set up a video so I can follow along with the classes. For the most part, Mina joins in on those classes, otherwise her dad would hear about her slacking and would pull her from this assignment. That is something we both learned the hard way. She missed a lesson once, and I thought the phone was going to break when he called to yell at her. It's never happened again that he is aware of. She has taken to hanging out with a few girls from around here that are high school seniors. She's hoping that it will get us more invites to parties and other social scenes when we come back in January. Many of the girls know people who are going to the university and have invited us a few times to parties. We declined them all for now, but Mina promises she will be all in when she gets settled at school. It will be easier for me to tag along then too. I have met them all, and they seem all right, but I am playing at being newly social and trying to get over my shyness. It's not a total lie, so the story is easy to sell. The boys have taken notice of Mina too, Human and Wolf. I mean, even I have to admit, she's gorgeous, so I can't blame them. Her personality and general good nature draw people in. Her dark reddish-brown hair flows down her back silkily, even when she is fighting. I'm kind of jealous, really. I just look like a sweaty, hot mess. Her average height makes it easy to look straight in her eyes to talk, no matter your own height. She's in shape, obviously, and the boys around here really seem to appreciate her efforts. Sky. Mina jumps off her bed. Beth just messaged me and said that her brother told her that his best friend's cousin is on the football team, and they are planning a party after we all get back. They have a bye week and will be free the first weekend after classes start. I understood I week and all of that. Mina's speaking girl is like trying to understand German sometimes. Basically, in your language, there's a football party when they all get back from the winter break. And she told me, so we can plan on being here in time to go. That's all that you need to know. Oh, and plan on wearing a skirt and doing your hair. I wish we could call Sierra in on this. She's so much better at getting you to do the girly stuff than I am. She throws out as an afterthought, probably based on the look on my face. I will wear anything Luna Ann asks me to. She's the queen and image matters with all of the things she does. Sierra has become an extension of Luna Ann's fashion arm, and she has dressed me for the few meetings and tours in the pack that I have done with the Luna Queen. I have just learned not to fight against Sierra. She started recruiting Xander and Oscar to literally hold me down while she dressed me like a child. No matter how much I flailed, she still got it on me. I gave up that fight afterwards and just asked her to make sure I can wear some type of shorts under the dress, and I can be comfortable in the shoes. When are we supposed to leave again? I know Mina knows this. She's been asking every day for a week. Something about going back to the compound has her antsy and itching to make the time go faster. The lease on our rental is up in 2 weeks. We really should start packing the non-essentials, so we are ready when Nicholas is. The weather is starting to turn, and I don't want to be stuck here. I want to get back so the elders can do the branding ceremony the way they want to with all the pomp and circumstance. I swear they just like being the center of attention, and all these stupid ceremonies give each and every on E of them a job that puts them in the spotlight for their 15 seconds. She laughs at me as she settles back on her bed. You're not wrong on all accounts. Do you think that we will get to spend some time with Xander and Oscar when we get back? I feel like it has been forever since we have all hung out. They probably don't trust the 4 of us together anymore after last time. That was all Oscar. He was the one who decided we needed candles for movie night. The rest of us didn't set the movie theater on fire. It was sweet. He was trying to celebrate one of the anniversaries. I don't know why every week-month place has to be celebrated as an anniversary, though. It seems like a lot of headache and makes the long-term ones less exciting when you do hit the big milestones. I have no idea what any of that is like. I never really dated anyone long enough to hit an anniversary worth celebrating. She shrugs. Really? You strike me as the person who had guys following you around like little pups? You are gorgeous and look like a model. I'm sure plenty of guys tried to date you. It wasn't for a lack of trying. My dad is big on mates. And while he didn't stop me from dating, he also made it really clear that my mate is out there, and it won't be fair to someone else if I am monopolizing a person who might not belong with me. So I kept it casual, and I was honest with them all. She shrugs again, lost in thought. I do think we probably have some kind of sixth sense about our mate, though, because I was not interested in any guy for very long romantically. I did learn some fascinating things, though. She waggles her eyebrows, and I can only imagine what types of things she learned. Oh, yeah? Like what? You enjoy being on top? I threw a pillow at her, completely joking. Absolutely. It is the best ride. And they don't have to do a lot of work, so it's hard to screw it up. My jaw drops. She's never been this candid before. I just blush and look at her. I have no response to that at all. Just watching her interact with all of the people we have come into contact with has been educational, But there really isn't a way to tell people I've never even held a boy's hand before that isn't embarrassing. Since we're on the subject, what is your favorite position? She tilts her head and has this mischievous smile on her face, like she was reading my mind and wants me to admit it out loud. I play with my fingers. I don't want to lie to her and end up in a position where I would have to prove anything. But I really don't want to tell her the truth either. Come on. You don't strike me as the sleep-around type. It's okay if your experience is minimal. There's nothing wrong with slowly easing into the SX stuff. She moves to sit by me on the bed. I don't have one. I look anywhere but at her and hope that she just reads between the lines and drops the topic. I can feel my face heating up. There isn't a lot that makes me blush, but this is one of those things that does, I guess. So, you're a virgin. That's fine. I was until last year, but I decided that I wanted to know a few things before I found my mate. You know, just in case he's new at it too, then the SX won't be boring. She shrugs it off, and I guess that does make some sense. Most guys don't see a problem with practicing. My brother and his friends are well versed in entertaining in the bedroom, if the sounds coming from my brother's room and the rumors about the others are to be believed. My brother tried to explain it to me last year that their wolves, especially high-ranking wolves, almost require the release and the need to procreate. His words, not mine, 'cause it sounds like a SX ed lesson. Gets more intense as they get closer to their 18th birthday. I got a full detailed overview of the fact that even though wolves can't get or spread STDs, Alpha Lucas drilled into them to wrap it up every time, because no one wants to be a parent that young, and there are some girls who will try and trap a ranked wolf by getting pregnant. Especially in Alpha and Beta, but all the guys are at risk for gold diggers. I'm not just a virgin. I have no experience when it comes to that stuff, like at all. I told you the guys really didn't pay any attention to me until last year, and before that, having even a female friend was not a thing. No way. I've seen Xander with you. He kisses you on the head all the time and holds your hand. I figured there was something there before he found Oscar, and because you are such an understanding person, you let him be once he found his first mate and is on the lookout for their female. No. We are just friends, and all of that is show for the stupid girls who can't take a hint that he doesn't want them throwing themselves at him. I roll my eyes. The twins have held my hands and they all kiss me on the head, but I'm like everyone's little sister, nothing more. I shrug. Now that she's talking about it, I feel like I should be practicing somehow, so I'm not a disappointment to my mate when I find him. I don't want to be rejected because I can't please him, but I also don't want to be rejected because I didn't save myself for him. I drop my head into my hands. This is so confusing. What am I supposed to do? The thought of being with anyone that's not my mate makes me sick to my stomach. But what if he doesn't want me because I don't have any idea what I'm doing? I let out a little whiny noise. Or what if he doesn't want me because I have done anything that wasn't with him? I don't want to be rejected. I can feel my panic start to rise. My chest is tightening, and my breathing is getting quicker. Sky, relax. First, I can guarantee that no guy in the history of guys has ever had any of those thoughts. They think with their DAK first. Using being a male and needing to release tension or energy or whatever it is as the excuse. If your mate didn't save himself for you, then he can't say anything about you doing the exact same thing. Now breathe. If it feels wrong, then it's wrong. If it feels right, then go for it. She shrugs like it's that easy. So this is what you are going to do. Keep being your own fabulous self and listen to your gut and your wolf. You have great instincts. Now, go finish our homework so we can get packing. I can't wait to get back to the compound and get our brands so we can do more on this mission. I get why George and William are getting antsy. This part is taking forever, and the only thing we know is that there is a large population of wolves here. She hops off my bed and heads for the bathroom, coming out 10 minutes later, ready for bed, but typing furiously on her phone, lost in concentration. "Who are you texting so aggressively with?" I laugh as she startles out of her thoughts. "I'm trying to get the names of those 2 guys that came over to talk to us at dinner tonight." I don't remember since I was paying more attention to Beth's boyfriend talking about the campus. But Ellie said they are students too, and one of them was asking about us, like together. She grimaces, then rolls her eyes. Like, "You are hot, and I can appreciate all that you have going on, but I just don't swing like that." She giggles at me, but I was so focused on the conversation I was having that I didn't catch what else was going on. She smacks herself in the forehead. "This is why we need more training, but I guess mistakes on the fly are what we are going to get." "Max and Eli," I say, not looking up from my computer. "What? Max and Eli are the names you're looking for?" Max is a sophomore, and Eli is the same age, but a freshman. Technically speaking, he took a year off to travel before starting school. They both play basketball, but I couldn't figure out if they play for the school or if that was just a line. Max is majoring in business and Eli in sports medicine. I look up when she doesn't respond to find her stopped in her tracks, staring at me. "What? You barely talk to anyone. How did you get all of that information?" "Just because I don't initiate conversation doesn't mean I don't listen, idiot." I laugh at her. Ellie was flirting hard and asking a ton of questions that seemed kind of invasive. And she really didn't listen to the answers either. I roll my eyes. She just wanted to keep their attention on herself, but it was helpful for us, apparently. "And what do you mean one of them is asking about us together?" I finish up my last line of English homework, save my progress, and close my laptop. I look at her and hope I have been able to school my face into something curious and not disgusted. Because, like her, I can appreciate how beautiful she is. But that isn't what I'm interested in either. "Yeah, it's exactly what you're thinking." She laughs. I need to work on my facial expressions, especially when I'm not happy about something. I don't tend to hide that very well. They asked if we were open to a 3 or 4-some. She rolls her eyes. Ellie offered to be one of the 3 or 4 if one of us wasn't interested. Now I am openly laughing. This is so stupid. What guy asks that the first time they meet a girl? That is all you. I'm not even ready to hold hands or kiss romantically, let alone have sex with additional people in the room. Nah, Ellie can have them, or at least break them in and see if it's even worth it. She laughs. The weather is still turning fast, but no snow has fallen. Just gusty cold wind and frost in the mornings that is taking longer and longer to melt each day. 3 days. I can't wait. Mina is jumping up and down. She has taken on some of the mannerisms of these college girls, and while it's endearing when she does it, the rest of them just kind of annoy me. I don't understand getting excited about a nail polish color or the sale at a certain store, but I get the excitement of going home for a few days. Home. That is such a weird thing to think about because the compound is home to me. The castle is home to me. If I really think about it, the Blue Crescent Packhouse is home, sort of. I don't know if it will feel the same if or when I go back, though. I have changed a lot being with the Warriors, and it hasn't even been a year yet. I miss Lillian, Wyatt, and Nathaniel. They took me in without question, and honestly, very little information. Everyone else seems to be an open book, but they all understand that I have my reasons for keeping details to myself. They all know the condensed story of how I got the scars on my back. Even Mina has asked, since they always seem to be on display whenever Luna Ann and Sierra dress me. And they know I was attacked and drugged before coming here. These friends don't see me as weak, though. They see me as a survivor, and I have started to believe them. It makes me feel lighter, better, bigger, somehow, in my tiny 5-foot-tall self. Just as I finish the thought, the front door to our little rental bursts open with Nicholas covered in snow. "What the hell?" Mina shouts. "Some kind of nor'easter. I've been sensing snow for days. But I didn't expect anything like this, Nicholas says, shaking out his hair and untying his boots. The rest of the team is back at camp getting things settled there, ready if the storm moves that far south. I got supplies, but we need to be ready to be stuck for a bit. WHT.NO. We were supposed to go and meet with the elders this weekend so we could get our brands. Why does it feel like something is always stalling this process? Maybe because you both are too young to be doing this. Maybe because you are now 18, and your mate is close, so the universe is trying to keep you from blocking the pull. Maybe it's the goddess telling all these F-fuckers that think you both are disposable little girls, that you are too important to be throwing out as bait for grown-ass wolves to take advantage of if things go wrong. He takes a deep breath and heads through the small sitting room to our open-concept kitchen and starts digging in the fridge. He still hasn't given up the idea that we aren't supposed to be here. I have tried talking to him about it, and he just says it's an instinct. He seems to be overly protective of the two of us specifically, though. Also an instinct. He doesn't act this way with Alyssa, and she's only a couple years older than Mina, and she hasn't found or searched for her mate either, and she was given her brand with the rest of her warrior class without all the fuss. So I don't understand why he's hung up on the two of us. I have coolers all set for the stuff in the fridge to go outside if we lose power. There is plenty of dry firewood in the shed out back and more in the yard. The biggest thing is keeping the pipes in the house from freezing and exploding. He moves to walk back to his room, which is where he spends most of his time. I love that here in the house he doesn't hover at all. He lets us be and do what we want. The minute we leave the house is a whole other story. But he has his reasons, I guess. But seriously, aside from being able to see other people and train properly and use the hot tub, what about our brands? We need them, and you know it. What is the point of all of this if we can't even go out and know that you guys can track us if She-T hits the fan? Because that's the endgame, right? For She-T to hit the fan, and for one or both of us to be kidnapped. No one else has thought of a solution to the lack of being able to track by scent, and apparently that is the only type of tracking we know or teach. Also something we should be working on. Mina is on fire, and I'm not about to stop her, 'cause I agree. The dependence on our abilities has made us blind to the fact that they could be taken away. This was something I was working with our pups back home, since they have only slightly better than human senses before they get their wolf. I figured it was something most packs do. Apparently not. It's a field skill that we teach later. You two just started and haven't gotten that far in your very messed up and back-ass wards training schedule. But it's not us tracking though, is it? I finally speak up. He will not use this as an excuse to delay longer. Mina is right. I want my brand, and I want to actually be able to help with this mission. We aren't allowed more than 10 feet from you. We are just the distraction, the bait. So what is stopping those who have been trained to track without scent? Sarcasm is dripping off of me now. It's really not his fault he's trying to protect us. But I'm done with the delays and the idea of being stuck here, inside for days, while also being delayed put me in an instant bad mood. George is sending someone here. He agrees with the two of you, and it's time to get this done. We have to let the storm hit and settle. But as soon as she can travel, she will meet us here to give you your temporary brand. At least this way, we don't have to do the 2-day-long ceremony. He rubs his temples. Really? Their ceremony takes 2 days? Mina scoffs. Yeah, but all of that is just ritual stuff. Basically, each elder welcomes you into the fold. There are meals and speeches and what they call trials, but you sit in a quiet room for 10 hours reflecting on your time in training, coming to terms with giving up access to your mate, while you wear the brand, meditating on being a devoted servant to the king. Crap like that. Well, it's not crap, really. Those are things to think through, but in my opinion, it should be considered long before you decide to go through with the ceremony. He rolls his eyes. Then each elder blesses each warrior individually, which takes forever. Then a witch and the Alpha King apply the brand, which hurts. A lot, by the way. But the magic has to be powerful for the mark to work the way it does. It lets you communicate over any distance, including the ocean. A spell has been worked in to allow you to shift without tearing through your clothes. We can also minimize our scent to appear more closely to human. And the rest of the warriors can sense where you are, allowing us to track you if something happens. We can even track you if you're unconscious, which has saved many lives in the past. Both Mina's and my jaws drop open. So there is a way to magically get rid of your scent? Mina screeches. What are we doing looking for that spell then? Isn't that a waste of time? No. We can minimize it, not get rid of it. All living things are designed to have a scent. It is for knowing the difference between friends and foes, predator versus prey, poison or something safe. What this group is doing is removing the scent altogether. But not only from themselves, but their victims too. It's like a blanket, and it's dangerous because we don't know how far that blanket covers. So, this storm just started. How long is it supposed to last? How much longer do we have to wait for our brands? 5 days. It's been 5 days of constant snowfall. We've gotten more than 24 inches of snow, which is unheard of for this time of year, according to the friends we have been able to check in on. In reality, the snow doesn't really bother us. Neither does the cold, since we all run hotter than the average human. But we have to maintain the secret, so we have to act human in a human-dense city. Nicholas has been out to help some of the neighbors keep the sidewalks and driveways shoveled. I don't think he can help himself, always the protector and caretaker. We've been out to help a bunch too, but not nearly as willingly as he is. So we help to fill in the time. Otherwise, we would die of boredom since we can't go anywhere. The major problem is we can't shift and travel as wolves. It's too easy to be spotted right now with all the fresh white snow. And I'm sure the humans would wonder at our sudden disappearance. And traveling in a vehicle of any kind just isn't safe with the amount of snow, icy winds, and temperatures dropping so low at night that everything gets a sheen of ice. So we are still stuck. There has been no power loss in our neighborhood, though. But I think that is more due to Nicholas sneaking out at night to check wires and transformers near us, to remove any ice and snow that could damage them. According to him, we have skills that are very useful, but the humans won't understand. But he is not about to have to rough it for the sake of keeping a secret. We both laughed at his declaration. I guess there had to be something wrong with his perfect persona. It was only a matter of time before we figured out he is a bit of a princess under all that tough guy. Finally, on the 4th day, our doorbell rings and Mina and I jump up and fight to get to the door first. Scrambling and laughing, we open it in a heap of tangled legs and arms to find a very somber-looking woman who eyes us with suspicion. I'm looking for Warrior Nicholas. Be quick about it and get out of the doorway. It's freezing, and my uncomfortable journey has been long enough. Her voice is almost bored, but with that craggy sound someone would do if they were telling a witch story to little kids. We both jump up and move out of the way. Neither of us is trying to piss off the woman who is about to make a dream come true. She steps past us and moves into the living room. It's not much, but none of us needed much to be here. We have a job to do, and sitting in luxury was not part of the plan. The basic creme white walls are what you would find in any cookie-cutter development home. The place came fully furnished, so the decorations are neutral, with no personal touches at all. The living room, dining room, and kitchen are all open concept, which was a must for Nicholas. He's too big to have human-sized doors and walls cutting everything off. The cream white theme travels the lower level completely. Some light and dark green accents are in the pictures hanging on the walls, and some of the details, but off-white is the dominating color here. This space will need to be cleared. The woman talks to the air and points to the dining room. I will need the bags and boxes from my car. Be sure not to jostle anything. I will find my room. Warrior Nicholas can consult me there. Come get me when you are done." Without another word or introduction, she walks to the stairs and glides up. "The hell?" Mina whispers next to me. No idea. But we better get started. I'm not giving her any reason not to brand us. We've waited long enough. Yep. Mina pops the up, and we both move to the dining room and begin to shift the chairs to other places around the living room and kitchen. The table was a bit more difficult to maneuver. I don't think it was designed to be moved from this spot once it was put together. We had to shift the couches in the living room up against walls and then get the 10-person table around the massive island that separated the 3 spaces. Eventually we made it happen though, and then layered up in all our winter gear to bring in whatever supplies she needed for this ritual. For only 2 people, this seems like a ton of stuff. What the hell goes on in this branding ceremony? There are 5 bags, but to be honest, a couple smell like they could be her clothes, and 4 plastic totes of stuff that are not light, even with our strength. Perfect. We both jump. Where in the hell did she come from and how did we not hear her? Not to worry, I use a silencing spell. You will never hear me coming. She basically reads my mind. I look over at her and she winks, tapping her nose. Did she just confirm my thoughts? Now I have to be careful what I let fly through my thoughts, and that isn't always easy. Let's begin setting up. I think you girls have waited long enough. I'm here now, and no one else can delay this process. It is meant to be and must happen now, before time runs out. Well, that was cryptic. Mina says over the mind link. Might as well talk out loud. I think she can read our minds or hear our thoughts. Whatever it is, there is probably no way to keep secrets from her. I responded. You are a smart one. She looks at me. You both are, and you both are very important. I have spoken to Nicholas, and we will begin shortly. He is not a part of the ceremony, but he will be standing guard. Both of you will be vulnerable for a few hours while the spell works. This takes time even without all of the fluff your elders seem to think necessary. We both just nod and wait anxiously for directions. Without words, the witch, who still has not said her name, hands us different items from the boxes and points to different locations of the room. She is consulting what I think is a compass and some kind of chart while she does all of this. There are candles everywhere, all different shapes and sizes. Many of them look handmade and have leaves, flowers, and herbs mixed into the wax. Some look like they have been used many times, others are brand new. We have drawn a large circle onto the wood floor with a white substance that is the consistency of flour or crushed up chalk. I'm not sure. In the center of the circle is a small metal bowl on 3 legs, like a mini fire pit, if the smoke smell coming off of it is an indicator. There are small clumps of different materials from outside: dirt, rocks, moss, dried flowers, gemstones in all sorts of colors. We are ready to begin, she finally says after hours of setting up and adjusting the things around the room. She waves her hand and all the candles light at once. My eyes go wide and I can feel my jaw drop open. It's the first magical thing she has done all day. I wonder if she could have set all this up in 10 minutes with magic, instead of the painstaking manual setup we did. Of course, child, but no one appreciates the things that come too easy. You must first understand what things are for, where they come from, and how to obtain them properly to truly appreciate what you have. And she at least confirmed that she can, in fact, read minds. Please step into the circle, ladies. We both step forward, looking at each other, not sure what to expect since this is the most she has said all day. The only other instruction we were given was to change into a black sports bra and shorts, like at training, and pull our hair back, our faces illuminated by the flickering light of candles. A sense of reverence and anticipation fills the air. The witch steps forward, as close to the circle as she can be without stepping over the line. Another wave of her hand and the herbs in the fire pit between Mina and I lights. I jump a little at the sudden spark and heat, but I don't move from my position. She begins humming and then chanting under her breath. It's a language I don't understand, but the flame in the pit goes from a warm yellow-orange to a deep green. Tonight, we initiate these two into our elite warrior brotherhood and sisterhood. To mark their devotion, we shall bestow upon them the symbol of the royal elite. She begins humming again, and the flames change to blue. As she continues to hum, she places a long metal pole into the fire. This must be the branding iron. Are you willing to pledge your loyalty and power to the elite warriors, regardless of the consequences? She asks. We both respond without hesitation. Yes. Are you willing to put the kingdom's needs above your own and do all in your power to protect its vast members? Yes. We reply, no breaking eye contact with each other. The air in the room begins to thicken with the smoke from the candles and the fire pit, but also the tingling of whatever magic she is wielding. Will you uphold the integrity of the Alpha King and Luna Queen? Will you lay your life on the line to protect those who are weaker than you? The flames turn purple this time. You are being granted a great honor and hold the power to help the royal pack grow and thrive. Do you swear on your life to uphold that honor while you wear your brand? Kneel, then raise your right arm inside of your wrist up. We both follow her instructions. She kneels between us and grabs the handle of the brand and lifts it from the purple flame. She moves to Mina first, chanting low under her breath, gently holding the back of Mina's hand and pressing the branding iron to the inside of her wrist. I can hear the skin sizzle and see the smoke lift from her skin. Other than a sharp intake of breath, Mina doesn't move or say anything. Her arm is visibly shaking from the pain, I'm sure. She feels and tears run from her eyes. But she doesn't move to wipe them away. The branding iron is pulled away and placed back into the fire pit, turning the flames a bright white. The witch reaches for vials of herbs sitting next to her, and she begins chanting again, in more of a melody, while she sprinkles little bits of things on Mina's burnt flesh. Mina's tears subside by the time the witch is done with her, and she just stares at me. But it feels more like she's not seeing me. She's lost in her mind somewhere, and it takes everything that I have to not go to her and comfort her after all of that. I thought I might fall into a panic memory like the first time we got to see the mission camp, when I smelt her burning flesh. The panic fought to take over. I had to keep reminding myself that this is not Kaylee's torture, but something that will make me stronger. I have survived worse, and Mina and Nicholas are here with me. I'm not going through it alone. I take a deep breath and look at the witch, who seems to just be waiting for me to go through my own panic and be ready for her. I blink and nod. She grabs the branding iron from the still white flames and begins chanting and repeating the ceremony she just completed with Mina. This time, the searing pain and the smell of burning flesh pull me into my memory. But I am still conscious enough to keep my body still. But the struggle is real. I hear her soothing voice chanting next to me. But I also hear a voice in my head that isn't my wolf. You are very strong and important. Remember that, little one? All of those you come into contact with and help will benefit, but be wary of those who seek you out for favors. You still have trials in your future that must be navigated through. Keep pushing forward. You are stronger than anyone knows. This ritual is different for all who go through it, even though the physical branding appears to be the same. No one speaks of their experience or what is revealed to them through the process. Each must make their own journey without bias or influence. Remember that when you speak of your ritual. I slowly blink and come back to the present. Mina and I are still kneeling in front of the fire pit. But it is cold, and all the candles have been blown out. The room isn't completely dark, though. Small rays of light are coming through the window in the kitchen. Have we been here all night? Oh man. I feel like I got hit by a truck. Mina mumbles, like she just woke up. Yeah, I guess I understand why it takes days. I blink like I'm trying to get sleep out of my eyes. We both look down at our brands. It is a simple crescent moon shape with the opening facing towards our elbows. That is the only similarity, though. Mina's crescent is delicate, made from thin, intertwining lines like vines dancing up a lattice. Mine is more sharp and angular, like a tribal print. This is so weird. I know she used the same brand for both of us, I exclaim, looking closer at the details on my brand. It looks like there are words training around some of the shapes making up the crescent, but they are too small to make out. I don't remember much. Do you? Mina asks me. Probably more than you since you went first. We ended up in a kind of trance or sleep or something. I don't remember anything after the brand touched me other than a voice in my head giving me instructions. I shrug. I don't feel any different, do you? No, but I'm also afraid to move right now. My body feels really heavy, like when I woke up in the hospital with Doc Gannon. What were the herbs and things she sealed the brand with, do you think? Not sure, but they must be part of what gives us the special link and shift control. Maybe it's the way the spell is linked to us for tracking. My brain hurts thinking about it. I need water and sleep. Where did she go? And Nicholas, have you seen him? No, but she said the brand takes time and we would be vulnerable. Maybe this is what she was talking about. We are weak, and my brain feels off like my thoughts are running through sand to process. Yeah, let's get water and head up to bed. I have to trust them right now, since I don't think I could put up a fight with a paper towel. She giggles and we both get up slowly, leaning on each other for support. Once we both down a full glass of water each and refill to take to our room, we both head up. I crawl to my bed, and she crawls to hers. Well, I am glad that I didn't have to go through that alone. That was a little scary and hurt like a bee teach. I laugh a little. Me too. See you whenever these after effects wear off. I close my eyes and roll over, falling asleep immediately. My eyes open slowly as I come out of a dreamless sleep. I have never not had a dream before. Everything was just black. Normally, I relive all of the things Kaylee has done to me over the years, but from a third-person perspective. I don't wake from them in a cold sweat anymore, but I don't know how to pull myself out of them either. I have learned to just go along with the dream until the end. I can't change what happens, but watching it play out isn't fun either. I have gotten so used to the dreams. It's a part of my day, and waking up fully rested for the first time ever is unusual. I can hear Mina moving next to me, but I can't seem to get my body to move very fast. I am super sluggish, like moving through quicksand. Mina? Yeah, hers is just as rough. What happened? I think we got everything we hoped and dreamed of, and it came back to bite us in the ass. She groans, and I can see her out of the corner of my eye now. I just realized my vision was blurry. I blink rapidly and roll to my side. Remind me to not want anything ever again. I grab my head to try and stop the pounding. Hey, are you okay? I have been trying to talk to you for days. My wolf asks. Days? What do you mean days? I could tell that you were okay, but I was disconnected from you. Was that supposed to happen? Not sure, but I wish someone would have said what the witch's spell was going to do to us. I was scared for both of us. What the hell happened? How were we out for days? How many days? My head is killing me. Hey, Mina? How's your wolf? I look over at her, confused, and she sounds like she's been drugged. How about yours? Same. She said we've been out for days. No one said that our wolves would be affected by this branding thing, or that we would feel like we have the worst hangover of our lives. She finishes my sentence. I have never been hungover, so I will take your word for it. I laugh back at her, but laughing hurts. I groan. Man, We have got to get you out more. 15, remember? Not a lot of out options to be had. And I'm not super interested in being drunk. I've seen how stupid people are, and that is not my type of good time. You don't have to get stupid drunk, but a few drinks can loosen up your tight ass and maybe help you have a good time. I think Sierra would agree with me. I roll my eyes at her because I can't argue. Sierra has been trying to get me to do teenager things since I got here, and I just don't really care to. She says I need to let go of my need to control everything. I then responded with hell no, and then laughed at her expression. I will, someday, but I just don't care about that stuff right now. You know you will need to practice before we hit up college parties, right? Otherwise, you're going to have one drink and pass out on me. There will be no passing out on my end. Why can't I just be your DD and call it a day? Because you can't always be the DD. At some point, you will have to join in to get the information you want, and you are going to want to be prepared, not be a newbie, and you know it. Control the training of your alcohol tolerance in a way. I hate it when you use logic on me. And kind of makes sense. You don't have to drink a ton or all the time. I'm not trying to turn you into an alcohol drinking champion, but knowing what things taste like, knowing what you like and don't like, knowing how drinks are made so someone can't slip something in yours. You need to know. Fine. NICKOLAS. I shout, and she jumps back. What the hell? Might as well start now. The snow isn't going anywhere. The door bangs open as he rushes in. What? Are you two okay? He looks a little panicked. As good as we can be after getting branded and feeling like we got hit by trucks, and then backed over a few more times for good measure. Shh, T. You cannot do that to me. I thought someone found you and was trying to take off with you. He's gasping and holding his chest. He doesn't come further into the room, but leans back against the doorframe, letting his head thunk back on the wood frame, while he closes his eyes and takes a deep breath. We need a drink after all of that. And what do you mean, found us? Mina asks, folding her arms across her chest, trying and failing to look intimidating in her pink pajamas. Wait, pajamas? When did she change into pajamas? I look down at myself. When did I change? We were in jeans and t-shirts when we did the ceremony, but that's the last thing I remember. Everything else is hazy flashes of memory. I can grab you guys some water. I'll be right back, he says, breathing almost normal now. Oh no. You misunderstood me. We need drinks, as in alcohol. Midget here has never had a drink, and if we are going onto campus after the break, she needs to have some kind of knowledge and tolerance. We feel like garbage and can't go anywhere. Might as well start now. And you still didn't answer my question. What did you mean, found us? Not answering your question and as pissed as everyone will be. I agree with you. You both need a tolerance. We can't keep bouncing between you two being ready for the challenge and being too young to handle things. You were sent here. Might as well do it right. Let's go. He waves us out of the room. I don't have beer, though, which is what you will get at most parties. I can't stand the ST. Did you know that we would be out for days? Is that how the brand ceremony usually is? I try to change the topic, but still get us answers. He was scared for us, and I don't like the thought of that at all. He knows what the branding ceremony is and what will happen. There should have been no reason to worry. Why don't I remember changing my clothes? And how did we get upstairs? That was mostly Gentry. You both managed to get yourselves upstairs, but just enough to fall into bed. She changed you both and tucked you in. That is a little more than my job description calls for. He smiles back at us as we head downstairs. As far as the time, no one is usually out that long. But you both are so young, that might be the reason. I mean, Mina just turned 18, and that's when you're supposed to start the training. And Midge, you're supposed to still be in school, Just figuring out boys and makeup and other girlish tea like that. You were probably a teenager when you were 6. He laughs at his own joke, and I just roll my eyes. He walks to the island and pulls out 2 of the stools. We both take a silent seat and watch as he pulls glasses out of the cabinet, along with an array of other things. It looks like he is going to set up a buffet, not just serve us a drink. First thing you need to know is that drinks come in various forms. He begins with shots, then moves to on the rocks and then mixed drinks. We get a whole lesson on alcohol types, how things are measured and poured properly, what drinks are common in college, and what to look for and avoid. I am completely fascinated by the whole thing. He only has whiskey on hand, but that does the trick, and I can feel the effect of my brain being sluggishly slow and not matching up with what my body is trying to do. He didn't give us more than a small sip of each type of pour. But since I have 0 experience, my body and brain are doing whatever they want. Now, you both need something to eat before you throw up all over the kitchen. He catches me as I start to slide sideways, but can't be bothered to right myself. I don't like this at all. I can't move my body. I just feel floppy. I giggle and can feel my emotions bouncing all over the place. Why would anyone choose this? It's like torture. I feel grumpy again. Mina is next to me, and she has been giggling the whole time. It started with my faces when we first started tasting the whiskey. Then she just never really stopped. For control freaks like you to loosen up a bit. You don't have a choice now. You have to ride the drunk train to get it out of your system. Woo! We need some music. She pops up faster than anyone should be allowed right now and disappears somewhere. Then I hear her pop music blaring from a corner of the living room. Nope, this is stupid and never happening again. I drop my head onto my forearms on the island counter. Just then, my favorite song comes on and I jump out of my seat. Why, yes. My mood is shifting again, and I am vaguely aware that the whiplash will suck later. I run over to Mina and we both start dancing. I have never been much for dancing around. I just don't really know how. But here with Mina and Nicholas, hidden in the house where no one else can see me, I can't bring myself to care at all. I let the music tell my body what to do and could care less about anything around me. I hear a low chuckle from somewhere behind me, and I spin to see who it is. Who else is here watching us? In my haste, I trip over my feet and almost faceplant into the coffee table. Big, strong hands pick me up and help me straighten up. Well, I can see that we are all using our time wisely. I know this voice. Why do I know this voice? It's comforting, like Cameron's, but it doesn't make my tummy tingle the same way. Why does my tummy tingle when Cam talks? I'll have to remember to ask Sierra about that. Or when Dakota held my hand. There are those little pricks of electricity that me and my wolf like. And why do I sleep the best when Oliver is super close? Like my whole body is just safe so I can relax. Sam and my brother give the best hugs, but they don't make the butterflies flap around. But when the twins made me into a sandwich, that was the best sleep. That seems like a silly thing, but a sandwich is not a silly thing. Oh, I gasp, focusing on the guys in front of me. I'm hungry. Nicholas, you said I need to eat. Can you help me make a sandwich? My arms are really heavy and I feel wobbly, but I want to eat. I groan, more laughing. What did you do to her? Nothing, I swear. The branding did not do them any favors. They were out longer than any of us thought. But they are both overtired and bored, and decided that since they are going to embrace the college life when the next semester starts, they need a lesson in alcohol tolerance. We clearly need to practice a bit more, and she's right. She needs to eat. Someone is pushing me back to the island where the little glass I was using still sits. A plate magically appears in front of me. How did he do that? He must know witchcraft too. Witchcraft is so cool. I really should study with Gentry. I wonder where she is. I didn't see when we came down. Why do I feel fuzzy? I say around the most delicious peanut butter and jelly sandwich I have ever had in my life. The alcohol makes your brain work a little slow. And since you've never had any and decided to start on a whim, there really wasn't any way to ease you in. So welcome to being drunk off a couple of whiskey shots. Nicholas laughs at me. You started her on straight whiskey? What were you thinking? The gruff, familiar voice comes from behind me, but it doesn't sound angry. Is he laughing too? Why do you keep laughing? And who else is here? I finish the last of my sandwich, and I feel my body coming back to normal a little bit. I still feel slow, but the minute the food starts to settle in my stomach, the fuzzy, delayed feeling is going away quickly. I don't know how I feel about that. It was like being stuck in my head and having multiple toddlers trying to make decisions for me, but not agreeing on anything. Ooh, I love this song. I turned to see Mina dancing away. Well, I think it's supposed to be dancing. Her limbs are flailing almost to the beat of the music. What's wrong with her? I turned to look at Nicholas and Alpha Reggie. When did he get here? Seriously? That's it? No hangover? No stumbling around? Just hand you some food and you burn the liquor off just like that? I mean, wolves tend to burn through alcohol quickly, but that's nuts for what I gave you. Nicholas looks incredulous. What? What did I do? I look between both of them. I told you she was special. I was curious how this would work for you based on how you metabolize silver. How much did you give her anyway? Alpha Reggie turns from Nicholas to me. A shot on the rocks, and they shared 2 drinks with different kinds of mixers. What do you mean, metabolizes silver? No werewolf metabolizes silver. It hurts like a bee teach, and if we take on too much, we die from it. Nicholas is still baffled and not trying to hide it. The end of November sucks, and the stupid snow doesn't let up at all. And of course, we live near more humans than wolves. So anytime we want to go out, we have to bundle up like our natural body heat is non-existent. And we can't spend more than the necessary amount of time outside. Otherwise, it would look weird to the neighbors. The only light in this tunnel of frost is Nicholas has taken us out every day since the 3 of us spent a lonely, drunken Thanksgiving together. I guess he had several guards surrounding the house that day, so he could take a break, and he indeed took full advantage of the situation. We tried every flavor of vodka he could bring us, and I have decided that whiskey is my sipping slow drink and vodka is the party drink. He did bring us a beer, and I have to agree that Esh tea sucks. The skunky, bitter flavor was awful and made me feel full and bloated. If I can avoid it, I will never drink it again. We have figured out that I metabolize all alcohols the same way. I do get drunk, but the minute I eat something, the sensation is completely gone. And when I don't eat, because we are very thorough in our research and have tested every theory we can think of in our state of boredom, it takes me about an hour to completely burn it off. I have taken to keeping a protein bar or something else small on me at all times, just in case. We have also gotten back to some semblance of training. I have shifted more in the last couple weeks than I have in the last year. My wolf loves it, and I love feeling stronger as she grows in strength and size. I am still shifting and changing physically too. In the 7 months I have been here, I have leaned out even more. But I'm not necessarily getting smaller. I have packed on about 15 pounds of muscle on my tiny frame, and most of my muscles are defined even in a relaxed state. Oliver would be happy with my progress. He always said I was too small. We are learning to use the benefits our brands give us. Shifting with our clothes intact is a huge plus. Even though it is part of the magic, we have to concentrate on mentally making the clothes a part of our body. It's basically invoking the spell to work. The first couple of tries were hilarious. One time, Mina ended up with the right half of her clothes hanging from her body, while the left side was in shreds. She was super proud of herself for getting in half, right until she noticed Nicholas' cheeks turn bright red, and he spun away from us so fast, I thought he might fall over. Her bra and underwear were also in the mix of being half there and half not, so her left boob was hanging out for all the world to see. She had to stay in wolf form until Nicholas could get her a change of clothes so she wasn't seen or would freeze her girl bits off. We may run warmer than the average human, but we are still susceptible to the elements. And she does not need to freeze her TTs off. After Mina's debacle, we both carried a couple extra sets of clothes whenever we trained. My efforts were less entertaining, but I still lost more clothes than she did. I seemed to get stuck in the top half or the bottom half of my clothes. I did end up in my underwear and bra once, which led Mina down a whole rabbit hole of me getting new lingerie, because I was not supposed to dress like a grandma when I am a badass warrior. And as soon as we are able, she is taking me shopping with Sierra, and the only thing I'm allowed to buy is undergarments that my mate would appreciate. I had to remind her again that it would be 3 years before I could find my mate, so it shouldn't matter now. Her only response was that I might find a boy here to fool around with and practice on until then. My heart stopped for a second, until she started laughing at me. I'm sure my face was one of total repulsion. Why are you so hung up on saving yourself for your mate? You know none of the guys save themselves for us, right? All the guys we know personally are out frolicking in the sheets with whichever set of legs will spread for them. And you aren't even interested in finding your mate right now anyway. Hence your presence here. She points dramatically at the muddy area surrounding us. I don't know what it is, Mina. Anytime we even talk and joke about me being with just anyone, I physically feel sick. I understand what you're saying, but I just don't think I could really go through with being like that with anyone but my mate. I rub my face with my towel. We are both sparring in a patch of woods behind the new house we found closer to campus. Is that stupid? I look back up at her, really wanting an answer. No. Being with your mate is special. It just seems to really be a sticking point for you. You don't really talk with guys who aren't warriors, and you don't flirt with anyone at all. Like you're afraid of even the perception of being interested in someone other than your mate. Maybe she's already met her mate. Have you ever thought of that? Nicholas comes out with bottles of water for us both. Somewhere in her subconscious, she knows her mate, and it is stopping her from disrespecting that bond. Oh, damn, I didn't think of that. You're right, that has to be it. We have to get you like a ring to wear, like you have a boyfriend. Plenty of college girls do the long-distance thing with a high school sweetheart. I mean, that isn't going to stop any of them from trying to flirt and get with you. You're hot. Like really hot. But it will be an excuse at least. Why is Mina so excited about this all of a sudden? Not 5 minutes ago, she was giving me a hard time about not flirting enough with the boys we meet. Now I must know my mate, and it's okay to not want to engage the guys we come across here. This whole situation has always made my head hurt. Now that we are around guys whose main goal in life is to pass classes and get laid regularly, and not necessarily in that order, it's in my face everywhere. We haven't been to any parties yet, but our first big one is a New Year's party that Beth invited us to tomorrow, and Mina has ensured that someone will try to kiss me when midnight hits, so I had better be ready for that. Let's just get back to practicing. I still need to get better at my groundwork. I look at both of them and Mina scoffs. Your groundwork is flawless. What the hell are you talking about? Ever since the attack, you have gone non-stop with training in your free time. You need to slow down. N-O! I shout, and it startles them both. It's not flawless, and I won't let anything like that happen to me or anyone I care about again. I realize at some point in the very near future, some douchebag is going to grab me, and we are going to let him, all for the sake of finding information. But I will not be tortured for no reason. If I can get more than just myself out, I will allow finding the whereabouts of this F-King camp. This organization has had the chance to go on long enough. Everyone says it, but no one has really done much to move forward. I have an opportunity to help stop this. I point to my sports bra-clad back. Or worse, from happening to anyone else. Now are we training, or do I need to go beat on the bag by myself? It's all good, Midge. Take a breath. I can work with you for a little while. Give Mina a break. Nicholas steps towards me, hands raised in a surrendering gesture. He's like Oliver and Sam in so many ways. He knows when I just need to vent physically, and talking about it only makes things worse. He gets that I just need to work through my thoughts with physical motion. Hey, you know we won't let anything happen to you, right? He talks over the mind link, melding his voice with his wolf's. They are both trying to calm us down. You can't guarantee that, and you know it. The point is to get taken, to get inside their compound or camp or whatever it is. We are both still throwing punches, and he is swiping at my legs, trying to knock me down. It doesn't make the sentiment any less. Just like you have a feeling about your mate, I have a feeling about you and Mina. I can't let anything happen to you. We keep grappling, neither of us getting a good move in, but not for lack of trying. I lost track of time, but there is no snow left on the ground surrounding us when Nicholas finally calls us to a stop. We will get these guys, and you both will be a huge part in that. I can feel it. Let's go get some food, and you can finish your high school homework before you get started on helping Mina organize her college classes. The first real party I have ever been to is the most overwhelming, overstimulating, over-sexualized thing I have ever seen. Clearly, the goal is to be the most underdressed in the middle of winter while looking like a porn star, ready to mate with the first jock that comes your way. I know it's more than either of us anticipated when Mina slows her walk up the long, winding sidewalk in front of this stark white mansion that size could rival my pack house. Holy shit, there are a lot of people here. She gasps as she starts walking forward again. The loud music drew us in. How are we supposed to find Beth and all the girls in this chaos? No idea, but I assume everyone is glued to their phones. From what I understand, this is more about being seen and having photos posted of you on social media than anything else. Being here is a privilege. Being able to prove it is harder. She winks at me over her shoulder. It's been a while since she has talked in a strategic tone. I was afraid I was losing my friend to the glamours of the outside world. Turns out she was doing her part in her own way. I was never going to get close to these people. I'm too young for them in general, and I really could care less to socialize outside of my friend group unless someone approaches me. I guess I could put more effort into this part. We need to know who these rogues are, and they clearly know how to hide in plain sight. Speaking of coming up to me, a guy I recognize as one of Beth's friends. Maybe someone's brother approaching us. Hey, you made it! I wasn't sure if you two would show. It's been a while. What have you two been up to? He boops my nose and smiles a lazy smile, clearly feeling his drinks already. Well, we've finally moved. So we are closer to campus. I can't wait to start school in a couple weeks. Mina giggles at him. Yeah, the storm made everything take way longer than we thought it would. Does that happen a lot around here? Random snowstorms at the wrong time of the year? I ask, surprising Mina and myself at my initiative to start a conversation. He wraps an arm around each of us and starts to lead us through the entryway of the massive house. Sometimes, not super often though. We usually get snow during your standard winter months. Being by the ocean helps that, but we are not here to talk about the weather. We are here to celebrate the new year. Are you ladies ready for your first Umain party? Yes. We both laugh and shout together. I still don't know this kid's name, but he has introduced us to so many people. I don't think learning names is a part of the game. Be seen, Mina said. People need to know we were here. That's what I'm currently trying to do. I have been nursing a drink since we got here. Every 20 minutes or so, I put it down as we pass by tables or any flat surface, really. I have to pretend to keep drinking, but I need my brain to function too. Mina told me over the mind link after her first full drink. That's what she is doing too. Oh my gosh. Hi! Mina jumps at some random guy taking a selfie with a few other, let's be honest, hot guys, and wraps her arms around his neck, like I would if it was Xander. He doesn't even blink, just pulls her close, and, in tandem, I follow along for the picture. We took a few from different angles, and each guy took his turn wrapping us up in their arms. We have been in more selfies and group shots than I ever would have expected. But we fit whatever demographic these guys find attractive, so it's working in our favor. Hopefully, we will be on enough socials to get noticed by these rogues. I'm glad none of the guys have pushed further than gentle groping, though, so it's been bearable. I don't know how many of these parties I can do. I'm more exhausted talking to all of these people than I would be doing 12 hours of training straight. It's almost time. The clock is starting to count down. Someone shouts from further in the house. Mina grabs my hand and pulls me into the living room that seems to be housing everyone in front of the movie theater-sized TV. We push up towards the front, because being short makes that a necessity for me. I can feel the heat of all of the bodies around me. Wafts of perfume and deodorant in various phases of wearing out assault my nose. Combine that with the stale alcohol and the leftover smoke from WD, and I was having a hard time focusing on the ball dropping in front of me, let alone what was happening around me. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A cacophony of noise erupts and loud music starts blaring. People around us are making out like crazy. Mina is wrapped up in a guy next to me, and before I can even comprehend what is happening, lips are smashed against mine. My eyes close tight of their own accord, and my assailant either has no idea what he is doing, or is so drunk. He has no idea what he is doing, but I feel like he is trying to eat my face. I crush my lips closed as his tongue licks my face like a dog. I don't even know if he realizes I'm not reciprocating the slobber assault. I have no idea how long it lasts, but eventually he pulls away just far enough to look into my eyes with a lazy and satisfied look. I try to smile back, hoping I can pull off faking enjoyment for him. I think even without the brand suppressing my hormones and romantic emotions, I could not have enjoyed that less. He looks very pleased with himself, so I must have convinced him a little bit. It took me a little bit to untangle myself from him. He even tried to follow me into the bathroom. Apparently whatever I said was code for quickie. And I finally had to reach out to Mina over the mind link to come and rescue me. I thought I was actually going to have to fight him off. Even when I pretended to be more into Mina than him, he thought we should just have a threesome. We finally just turned around and walked away too fast for him to grab my arm and hold me back again. I don't know if any other story will ever top that one. I had to pretend to be a normal human girl with normal human strength, and I found it both funny and annoying. I can't imagine not being able to defend myself when a guy was really trying to harm me. At least this guy seemed nice, just a little overeager, and I didn't want to hurt him. That was a new technique I decided I needed to train. How to put enough force into extracting myself from situations like that, but not do so much damage that anyone would be suspicious of my non-human strength. We didn't get any traction from our New Year's party stunt, but we were noticed on campus. I was able to get a job at the coffee shop on campus, so I had an excuse for being around so often since I was supposed to still be in high school. Mina still hates school, but she is at least exempt from doing double classwork while she is undercover at college. The only thing is I'm helping her do most of her work while still completing my own. A point I being up to Nicholas again this morning? If she is exempt, surely there is a way to do the same for me. Doing both sets of homework is cutting into my training and research time. Gentry gave me several books to look through, so I can help try to find out how the rogues are doing the mass scent masking. I roll my eyes after working through some of Mina's math homework. It's not that she's dumb at all, or can't do the work. But math and science she struggles with, and we can't afford for her to fail classes. All of her other core classes she is flying through. She has also been helping with the masking research. Doc Sylvia sent over all the books she could find about different herbs, salves, plants of any kind that might have been used in history to accomplish the masking that we have found. Unfortunately, it seems like there is some kind of combination of things being used, but every time we present something that theoretically makes sense, Gentry punches holes straight through it. Spells that take days or months to produce, or that would require too much energy from the caster to maintain. Plants and herbs that would need to be grown and brewed, or burned regularly, doesn't seem feasible. There is something we are missing, but we are close. I can feel it. There are more male wolves on campus now, and many smell like rogues. Not all rogues are bad, but most rogues are rogues because they have been cast out of their pack for doing something really bad. Or they are kids of rogues and haven't been accepted into or tried to become a pack member. Some just prefer to be alone, which seems so strange to me. Wolves are pack animals and almost need to be together to survive. But I can't judge anyone. I was a loner inside my pack for most of my life. The problem I have with the situation is that they actually have a scent. I'm not sure if we are being played or if these might not be the guys we are looking for. We continue to go to parties and any big social event on campus. I really enjoy basketball and hockey games. I can at least appreciate the athletes' dedication to their sports. This also makes it easier to socialize at their parties. The guys seem to love a girl who is interested in talking about them and their sports. It makes it way too easy for Mina and I to stroke egos and get information. I've also found the more that I talk, the less I have to actually drink. I can just pretend to take sips and then talk a ton with my hands, effectively sloshing liquid on the floor, like the rest of the girls traipsing through. From talking to people at the coffee shop on campus, I got a job, so I had a reason to hang around so much. It sounds like many of the new guys came in for the agriculture and forestry program, which has all of us suspicious. They are rogues here to do something, and they are way too close to the Alpha King and his territory for it to be coincidence. Mina and I have been trying to find and spend more time with these people, but they are not the standard college party kind of guys. So we are having to improvise. I said no. How many other ways do I need to say no before you understand that no actually means no? Nicholas is fuming around the kitchen. It's his turn to cook tonight, and Mina is trying and failing to convince him to let me enroll in the early college program. I can start in late February, and it would be a great cover to get me into the forestry program, and right in with the new rogues. Nicholas, please. This is the only way to start to put the pieces together. I can be right in with them. We are all wolves and will more than likely end up on projects together. It's the perfect reason to hang out since they are not doing the normal college thing. I try to be soft and logical. Don't look at me like that, Skylar. Your cute little pouty face is not going to win this argument. He shuts his eyes and takes in a deep breath. You never call me Skylar. Are you mad that I want to do this? My face falls naturally at the thought that he thinks I might not be able to pull this off. Then I remember he said he has a bad feeling, and his wolf has him convinced Mina and I are important. So I pout a little more to lay it on thick. I am going to win this argument, and he knows it. That's why he pulled out my first name. It's his last-ditch effort to make me see how dangerous this could be. It's not that. You are more than capable of handling yourself. He takes a deep breath again and huffs it out. I can't see or protect you inside the classroom. At least at the coffee shop I can be around, and there are only 2 blind spots that are always covered when you're on shift. And I can't pose as a student with you, since I'm already set up as your uncle. He grunts into his hands, scrubbing them up and down his face. He abandoned cooking a while ago. I hate everything about this plan. which probably means that you're both right. Mina and I both sit in anticipation, hoping he is coming around. It is torture waiting for him to make a decision, which makes me think he is mind-linking someone to get an okay. Which I both appreciate that he is now open to the idea, and it irritates me that I have to get permission from him, and headquarters, and probably Alpha Reggie himself, before he finally nods. Fine, you're in. But we have to go over some ground rules, and we need to do a perimeter check, so we know all ways in and out of the buildings you will be in. We spent the next 2 weeks, when I wasn't working, walking around during the day, like a normal person touring the campus, interviewing students and talking to professors. At night, we scoured each and every alleyway, doorway, hallway, and any other way that struck Nicholas' fancy. He was serious about knowing everything about the buildings that I would be in each day. He also had William tap into all of the security cameras and add a few when he wasn't satisfied with angles or placement, or just the overall lack of security in general. He even pulled Alyssa in from whatever else she was working on to cover the campus. George was the only one going back and forth between our team and whatever other part of this operation that was physically searching the forests. Once he was satisfied he had as much control as possible over the situation, we went through the enrollment process, which I might add is a gigantic pain in the ass. I didn't have to worry about financial aid since my parents left me a trust when they died. Or at least that was the story. Like Mina, my semester was paid in full by the Alpha King. We also dove in to do full background checks on all of the professors and TAs that I would be interacting with. We needed to know as much as possible about the main players here on campus. With a program like forestry and agriculture set on a campus that is surrounded by preserved lands and forests as far as the eye could see, there is no way someone here isn't involved in the kidnappings and the strange movements of this rogue king guy. These forests stretch from the Canadian border to the Gulf of Maine, and the more that I look into it, the closer I realize these guys probably are to my pack. This forest surrounds the campus, but runs from the southeast side to the border just north of the Blue Crescent Pack Island. The drive time is just under 2 hours, and with the water surrounding my pack's island, it would be easy to hide vehicles and observe if they had the right equipment. I make a note to talk to Xander and Alpha Reggie and report my findings so Alpha Lucas and the guys can expand their search and put plans in place to protect the pack. There has to be a connection or something we could work with at the very least. I am kind of excited to see how college classes work, since I haven't been on a normal school track in a really long time. When I hit the AT grade, the teachers who weren't under the thumb of Mr. Cunningham, or just smart enough to stay off his radar, made sure I was in the classes that I needed to be in. Well, they actually got me the work and credits for the classes I was meant to be in while appearing to be non-existent and unwanted in the back of the room. By freshman year, as long as I wasn't supposed to be in a class Kaylee was in, I let them move and adjust my schedule as they saw fit. I showed up to all the classes her and I were supposed to be in together to keep her from getting me in more trouble. It did help that I was not the only advanced student, so I had a reason to be in advanced classes, along with several other kids, and more importantly, away from her. I was just able to keep it quiet in which advanced classes I was in, since I didn't talk to anyone ever. I have come to terms with the fact that I am not normal. My history isn't that of a normal teenage girl. My education is definitely not normal. My upbringing was one of neglect and abuse. But here, now I realize that I wouldn't be on this journey and be able to help the way that I have been without all of that. I can't say I'm thankful for the experiences. No one could be thankful for that. I am thankful for the few people who did see me and recognize my struggle, but didn't treat me like a victim that was fragile and broken. I was recognized as someone who needed a little help, and for someone to give AST. All right, there have been movements in the wildlife refuge just northeast of the campus. William has cameras and motion detectors there, and we caught a pattern of movement over the last 3 days. Nicholas starts talking the minute Mina and I walk into the kitchen, wanting to grab a quick bite before heading to a 7 a.m. class. What do you mean, movements? I ask around a Pop-Tart hanging from my mouth and leaning out of the pantry. It appears that wolves are moving towards this area. Problem is, like everything else, something is missing. We can't see any kind of gathering, just the literal movement across the screen. We know at least another 50 wolves have moved west through the refuge. They must be aware of our tracking systems. Weird. Are we sure they are not just wild wolves moving around and setting off our sensors? Mina asks. He scoffs at her over his coffee. What? What are you looking for to define the difference between a werewolf and a wild wolf just living its best life in the forest? The first and most obvious is the sheer size. Even female werewolves are significantly bigger than your average wild wolf. That's where we start. William, Alyssa and I will do a sweep of the area to catch any scents and see if there is anything familiar to scents we have found on campus, since we still can use scent to track here. We both nod. Then what? I ask, now really curious since we are actually doing mission-related things now, and not just various forms of training and research. Then we bring in more team members and start tracking. This is where the real work begins. You two are going to have to maintain your school schedule as well as help out with the tracking. You both seem to be naturally gifted in that area, and we might as well get you field ready on the job. He seems to have accepted our roles in this whole mission and has stopped treating us like China dolls and more like team members with an actual purpose and job to do. This class is so boring. Why do they put the most boring class first thing in the morning? I have to take these prerequisite classes, even though I have so many credits from high school. Not all of them qualify, so here I am. The communications professor is droning on, and I have no idea what he is even saying. I have never not been able to pay attention in class before, and looking around, I am not the only person having trouble with focus. The almost full class is mostly freshmen here for the same reason as me. It's required. I'm jealous of Mina. She already has a few college credits, so she doesn't have to suffer here with me. We decided since she enrolled in the parks, Reese and tourism program that I should do the forest ecology track. That way several of our classes will overlap, but we can canvass more people this way. We both lucked out and were able to get into some of our program classes, which puts us in close contact with many of the new wolves that have been coming into the territory recently. And there are a lot of wolves in our classes. I guess it makes sense though. Not all wolves have their jobs decided like the alphas and other leaders, and we always need people in jobs and places that can help protect us from humans and other species. I have noticed that the wolves tend to corral together in my classes and tend to look like your average muscle-bound athlete, even the women. The humans, for the most part, give us a wide berth. It appears like your usual high school separation of groups, but I know it's the human's natural nature to stay as far away from a major predator. Although I have never heard of a pack member harming a human for sport, or more disgustingly, food. I don't know about rogue wolves. It's possible they would do anything to survive, and based on what I've seen from this rogue king, some of them don't have any problem harming what or whoever is in their way. My afternoon ecology class goes straight outside for our first lesson. By the smell and look of my professor, this is where he spends most of his time and would rather be. He handed out the syllabus and basically said if we couldn't figure that out on our own, we should find another program to be a part of, and then brought us for a tour of the area we would be using for our projects and research this year. Nicholas, we're headed outside to tour part of the facility. Is there anything you want to know? I'll try to work it into the conversation. We want to know about the wildlife. Does it come onto the property regularly? How often will you come into contact? Things like that. Let's see if the school has noticed a change in the wolf population. And keep an eye on the rogues while you ask. Find the most fidgety one so we can keep an eye on them. On it. This class was my favorite so far. The professor talks to us like we are peers, not just students, and his no-nonsense approach to teaching is near and dear to my heart. The area we have for research is on about 25 acres. Some of it is forested and some is a prairie that has been allowed to grow wild with tall grasses that are yellow now, but still standing strong after the harsh portion of winter. There are longer stalks that are probably the remnants of wildflowers. I bet this place is beautiful in full bloom. There are trails beaten into the grass where people walk to maintain the integrity of the land. I can feel my whole body relax just being out here. It's amazing. Professor Chance? I call walking up to him as he leads us around a fenced area marked for another class. Does the school restrict the wildlife that comes through here? Or should we be prepared to come into contact with some animals? Are you afraid, miss? He looks over his shoulder at me with the question. Macon. Skylar Macon, sir. And no, I'm not, sir. Just curious. Sir, that makes me sound old? You a military kid or something? He is definitely not old. Maybe Alpha Lucas age. Old enough that he could have teenage or older kids, but aged well and in shape from the outdoor work he does. His sandy blonde hair is short on the top and sides, a simple cut to fit his outdoor lifestyle. He's not quite 6 feet tall, but still significantly taller than me, like everyone else. Something like that. I smile at the idea. Well, Miss McCain, we will more than likely come into contact with our wild friends, but this area is so heavily used that most stay away. Just based on scent. He gives me a serious look, like he is communicating more with his eyes than his words. Out of self-preservation, most animals will stay away from areas that smell like humans or larger predators, unless they are diseased or starving and have no other choice of survival. What types of animals will we see here? Big ones, I mean. I figure we will see little critters all the time. There are moose and black bear, some mountain lions and lynx, but they stay away from the campus for the most part. Our largest population is wolves, and they have been here long enough that some have become curious about the humans on campus, especially after a winter like the one we just had. Their food supply is low and they are hungry. But we haven't had a recorded attack in years. Yeah. Not having a recorded attack is very different from not having an attack at all. I think to myself and my wolf. And why does he look so pleased with himself? Because he's hiding something. I can feel it. But he's human. Do you think he's one of the ones that knows about shifters? Maybe. I mean, working in this field, he's bound to come across us. I can't put my finger on it. I don't trust him. But I have a feeling we need to get close to him. Like he has information, even if he doesn't realize it. I trust your instincts. Something is weird about him. None of the rogue wolves reacted to any of my questions, but I wasn't sure they would. It was pretty harmless to begin with. I'll just have to come up with things that are going to make them more uncomfortable as the semester goes on. I keep asking mundane questions to make it look like I am just overly curious and excited. I throw more wildlife questions in too, not focusing on just wolves, but all of them. I don't know if I am doing a good job of asking for information and sounding nonchalant, but Professor Chance has answered everything without hesitation. I make a mental note of everything he said, not really sure what could be useful to the team or not. We finish the tour and head back to the shed to grab our things. I say, sheathed loosely. That's what Professor Chance called it, and there is a beautifully made sign over the door. But this place is anything but a shed. It is a massive 5,000 square foot barn with all the tools and equipment necessary to work these forests. It has gutters and rain barrels to collect rainwater, and the roof is covered in solar panels. There is even a wind turbine to collect energy. Professor Chance says that it is not 100% off the grid, but could be if needed. Hey, new girl, wait up. Someone shouts behind me as I start to walk away from the shed. I stand up with my bag and look around before making eye contact with a very beautiful-looking guy jogging straight at me, flanked by two friends. It reminds me of the guys, and for a brief second I am homesick. Me? I question, pointing at myself, looking around again. Yeah, you. He smiles. You're new to campus, right? I nod. Yep. I can feel my heart rate rising. I don't talk to guys on my own. Mina is usually here with me, and she does the flirting and pretending to be interested and all of that stuff for the both of us. Don't tell me you're shy. Not after the way you were drilling the professor just a little bit ago. Man, you are tiny, aren't you? He asks. No one in particular as he steps right up to me, completely invading my personal space. The forest doesn't make me shy. People do. I shrug and move to turn around and find Mina. If they choose to follow, she can at least help steer the conversation. Wait. We won't bite, I promise. He gives me a grin that must work on most people. He sounds like the kind of guy who knows he's handsome and usually gets his way because of his charm. I turn back towards them and cock an eyebrow. I have to meet up with my sister. I point a thumb over my shoulder. We'll walk with you then. It's not often we see pack members here. This is like a neutral territory for several packs, but no one comes here voluntarily. He says as he starts forward like we always walk together. I didn't expect him to just come out and imply he's a rogue. That's new. I just tilt my head and say nothing. Just keep walking. Is your sister in the same pack? Yes, kind of. We come across as pack members because of the warrior brand we both have. Most pack members can tell their own versus a member from another pack. I guess rogues would have the same ability to sense another rogue versus a pack wolf. You are so full of questions, but not really answers, aren't you? He asks playfully, not really sounding offended, more like he is enjoying the challenge. The best way to get answers is to listen, not to talk. I shrug. Okay, so you look 12, are roughly the size of a large toddler, but you sound like a 60-year-old seasoned teacher. Who are you? He sounds amazed and incredulous at the same time. I am saved from answering as Mina approaches, shouting my name. Sky, how was your first day? She wraps me in a big hug. When she pulls back, she looks over my shoulder. You made some friends. What's up, guys? Are you ever not flanked by hot guys? She asks over the link. I just roll my eyes at her and turn around. At least with her here, the conversation will be way less awkward. These guys are in my ecology class. I wave a hand behind me because that's all I've got. I didn't actually catch any of their names. Tyler, the charming one, sticks out his hand to her, and she shakes it. This is Mike and Robbie. He points over his shoulder to the two guys who have said nothing during this whole interaction, choosing, like me, to let their friend do all the talking. It's nice to meet you, Tyler. I'm Mina, Sky's sister. Sky? I like that. He looks right at me again. You're in class with her? Followed her out to the parking lot and didn't know her name? Mina laughs. He at least looks sheepish. I was working on that. Sky is a bit single-worded when it comes to small talk and conversations. He looks at me again, even though he's talking to her. I shrug again. I still like listening better. Well, listen to this. He smiles that big, cheeky grin that tells me he has trouble on legs. None of us have class Friday morning, so we all go out on Thursday nights and do a bonfire when the weather stops being shitty, so we blend in a little better with the humans. It keeps us out of the way of the regular Friday night partiers. We run and then hang out. If you're interested, I can give you my number and get you all the details. He smiles that smile again, and before I know what is happening, Mina has swiped my phone from my back pocket, unlocked it, and handed it over to him. What the hell? He's hot and he's flirting with you and he has a connection to the rogues. Did I mention he's hot and flirting hard? This is the kind of boy you practice with. I roll my eyes at her and scoff. But I must have made the sound out loud, 'cause Tyler stops typing on my phone and looks up at me. Is this okay? I don't have to give you my number. Why is he shy all of a sudden? I'm not a big fan of my sister meddling. That's all. I force a smile to him, and it must be enough. He smiles and winks at Mina and keeps typing. Is your full name a novel? What are you putting in my phone? I go to reach for it, but he holds it over his head out of my reach, laughing. You'll just have to wait and see. You're asking for it now, Mina mumbles under her breath, and Mike and Robbie both laugh like my tiny little wrath is nothing. I take a breath and let it out slowly, then lunge forward, grabbing Tyler's extended arm and launch myself under it, behind his back, and hook a leg over his shoulder from behind, ripping my phone from his hand. I pat him on the head before swinging my leg over his shoulder and jumping down like I was getting out of a saddle, and landing on my 2 feet, looking at my phone like I didn't do anything. Oh, she-tea, Mike says. You can straddle me anytime. No way, dickhead. I talk to her first. Get in line. Mina and I are full on laughing now. There's no line, guys, so quit while you're ahead. That sounds like a challenge? Is that a challenge, Sky? Tyler asks, tilting his head to the side. For sure, flirting, and it's cute for someone else. I'm just not affected by it at all. Maybe it's the warrior brand, but somehow I don't think so. No. Just not interested. I'm here with special permission in the early college program for class, and I need to focus. Whatever you guys have in mind does not fall in the category of staying focused. So strong and smart, I might actually be in love. Mike taps his heart and pretends to swoon. Marry me? No. My mate probably won't like me being married to someone else when I can actually find him. I appreciate your effort, though. I am laughing again. You are seriously looking for your mate? Mates are overrated. Robbie speaks up for the first time and doesn't look pleased at my confession. Not from what I've seen, and I figure I should be the judge of that when I actually meet my mate. Not just base my decision on others' opinions on the topic. I shrug back at him. I've seen great mates and terrible ones. What if you fall in love with someone while you are waiting for this so-called mate? What then? I don't know. Love hasn't happened to me, and I have a few years before my mate can even find me, so it's a moot point until then. I shrug. Damn. A few years. How old are you, Sky? Mike asks. Young enough to still be considered a minor. I raise my eyebrows and keep it vague. So, what about Thursday? Tyler brings the conversation back to the main topic. We need to ask. Can I let you know in the next couple days? Sure, text me anytime. That charming smile is back on his face, and I can't help but return it. He winks and then turns to walk away, Mike and Robbie following. Well, that was productive, wasn't it? You're better than I thought at this. I'm going to have to leave you alone more often. What are you talking about? I have been in classes with some of these guys for a little over a month and have just started talking to them. You come in, late might I add, and you have 3 of them falling all over themselves to talk to you. How do you do that? I don't do anything, I swear. I didn't ask for them to talk to me, and I wasn't looking to gain their attention. I was just asking the professor questions. Like you said, I'm late to the party, so I wanted to get any info I can while I can still play the new kid card. That's gotta be it. She got excited. You don't give them the time of day, and you don't play dumb either. They know you neither want or need them. She's laughing now. You basically emasculated them, and that somehow made you the forbidden fruit. Gross. I laugh back at her. Why do you have to make everything sound so sexual? You've been around Sierra too long. I'm just new. That's the only reason they're interested. They will find out I'm 15 and back off like I have the plague. None of them strike me as cradle robbers. We are both still laughing as we get to Nicholas' SUV. What has you two so giddy? He gives us a half smile, but I can see something is wrong. Sky's been in class for a day and already has guys asking for her number. Well, stealing it really, and inviting her to run and a bonfire on Thursday. Mina is getting settled in the back seat, but hasn't looked at him yet. What's wrong? I ask him, and her head snaps up. Gentry never made it back to her coven. It's not unusual for her to go off on her own, especially after a big cast like the bond she did for you two. She will go into the woods for a couple weeks and charge. He air quotes. She contacted her coven before she left us, but it's been almost 3 months since they have had contact from her. He takes a deep breath and rubs his face. You think they got her, don't you? I ask, but it's not really a question. She is powerful. Even I could feel how powerful when she gave us our brands. How would someone sneak up on her and then subdue her? She would have taken precautions for things like that. If this rogue group took her, then they are using magic to mask what they are doing and where they are. They made a mistake, though. She was expected, not off on her own. They have to know we will come looking for her. Alpha Reggie's warriors and her coven will be on the hunt now. Why would they do that when they have gone under the radar for so long? He's talking to himself more than us, but something is still off. I can feel the rage rolling off of him, but he's doing a great job containing it. If I didn't know him, I wouldn't notice the small twitches of his jaw or the slight flex of his fingers as he talks about her. Nicholas? Who is Gentry to you? I ask as gently as I can. He doesn't answer right away, just takes another deep breath and scrubs his face. She is my mate. Oh, damn, Mina exclaims. Why doesn't she have your mark? Why are you a branded warrior? What the hell is going on? It's a long story, well more complicated really. She is a coven leader and they have certain requirements. I guess it's the best way to put it. They have traditions and expectations, and a wolf mate is not a part of any of that. She's expected to marry a warlock and produce one of the next coven leaders. Mina gasps. She hasn't gone through with anything and refuses to be with anyone else. But I have a feeling someone is going to give her an ultimatum and make her choose. It's why I took the warrior oath. I don't want anyone but her, but I also will not come between her and her coven. So we are stuck here in this limo. Do you think they took her because she's a powerful witch, or because she's mated to a wolf? I ask, before I can even think the question through. Nicholas looks up at me and his face goes pale. I didn't even think about that. She's a powerful witch, and she's one of their most knowledgeable casters. It didn't even cross my mind that someone might see her mate bond as something to use as a weapon. He peels out of the parking lot, and I can tell he's mind-linking, aggressively, with someone. We got back to our house in under 10 minutes, and he flew out of the car without even closing the door. Osistin walks out our front door and meets him on the porch. Nicholas snarls and pulls his arm back for a punch. But Osistin is calm and sees the wild fury for the grief that it is, and counters him easily. Osistin leads him down the steps and into the yard where they grapple. Nicholas pouring all his rage into each punch and kick, but not being able to make a good connection while he is letting his emotions rule his movements. Osistin is too far away to take any real hits, but close enough to remain Nicholas' sole target. This goes on for the better part of 20 minutes. Osistin is breathing heavily and finally gets Nicholas into a submissive pose on his knees. And then Nicholas just goes limp and crumples to the ground. Mina and I just stood by and watched. There was nothing else to do. That helpless feeling of being out of control while someone you care about is in danger is the worst. I have destroyed a gym and passed out because of that level of anger. That seems like a lifetime ago. Okay, Osistin says. We have some information that we can share, but we are going to need you two to fill in the blanks. He looks at Mina and I. We both nod, then walk over to Nicholas. I squat down in front of him and place my hands on either side of his face. bringing his eyes up to look into mine. He doesn't fight me, but his gaze is lost, like he's looking right through me. We are going to fix this, all right? We are going to make this right. It's personal now. You can promise that? He whispers, still not focusing on me. Yes, I can. I can promise my full attention and my full effort. I can promise that you have never seen me stubborn and on a mission before. Alpha Reggie told you I'm special. I'm really not. I just have a bloodline that affords me some bonus features. Let me help. No one messes with my family. Can you really just metabolize silver? He asks, sounding almost drunk. Yes. I can't explain it though, that's a Doc Gannon question. I need her back, Sky. This time he focuses right into my soul. I don't know how his emotional connection works with the brand on, but I'm not going to deny him anything at this moment. We will get her, that I can promise you. He nods and gets up slowly, wrapping an arm around both Mina and I as we walk into the house. We are all sitting around the cramped living room. Osiston isn't the only one who showed up today. That's how I know this is bigger than we thought. George, Alyssa, and William are all here, and I guess there is a team of 5 running the perimeter around our place. What have you guys come up with? Anything? Osiston asks, sounding more irritated than I've heard him before. Right now, we just know that the male wolf population is growing each week. Many registered for college for this semester. We haven't seen or heard anything more unusual than that. I haven't heard of any girls being taken or reported missing either. I tell him, honestly, I have no idea what's going on, but I also feel like we aren't doing enough. Sky did get us an invite to run with some of the guys on Thursday, though. It's the first time the wolves have interacted with us. Mina adds. All heads turn towards me, and I'm not sure I like the looks in their eyes. It's the kind of look that says I'm about to be pulled from this for my safety. I can't help the growl that rumbles in my chest. My wolf doesn't want to be sidelined any more than I do, especially now that someone we know has been taken. Relax, little one. No one is going to stop you from helping. He reads my mind. You're too deep into this now, but you can't fault us for being concerned. The rogues started increasing when you got here, and didn't approach until you and Mina were on campus. There's something to be said for their timing. Osiston calms me. We do know that there has been no rogue presence near Blue Crescent in the last 5 months, and 2 smaller packs have been attacked and completely wiped out from what we can tell. If anyone got away, we have not found them yet. When we did a search of the destruction, though, only male bodies were found. No females, no children. So there is a spark of hope that some were able to escape. We did find both the Alpha and Luna for both packs amongst the dead, though. He finishes sadly. So, are they here? The Rogue King and his minions. Do we have any confirmation of that? Do we know where to look or where to start? I'm frustrated now. It feels like these rogues are several steps ahead of us all the time. It's like chasing a ghost or a fairy tale. The only confirmation is the increase in the population here, with no pack to speak of. It's suspicious. This, like most prominently human public places, is neutral territory for us. No packs lay claim to areas like this. The Alpha King offers protection if there are wolves on campus, but no one group occupies the space. He turns to me. You got an invite to run with these rogues? I nod. On your first day of classes with them? I nod again. I feel like this is a trap waiting to happen. Yeah, Thursday night. How do we want to play this? They all have a scent, so while they're on campus at least, they aren't trying to hide. Where will you guys be? He smiles at me, both of us coming to the agreement that I am going, and he is going to be there to follow. We need a reason for Royal Pack warriors to be running on the grounds. Nicholas is going to have to stay behind. He is on a leave of absence to take care of us, so he can't be on duty. We can put it out there that we will be running a training op near here. We do things like that all the time when we are forming teams with new recruits. We have a few people placed in leadership on campus. They can do their thing and spread the word. It will give us cover for our scent being all over the woods, and we don't have to explain ourselves any further than that. If we do meet up with you for any reason, you and Mina have to pretend not to know us. Copy reactions from the rogues and blend in. We'll try not to engage unless we have to. George comes up with a plan on the fly. Perfect. Mina smiles. Now let's see what Tyler sent you. She grabs for my phone again. I slap her hand away. Remind me to change my password again, I say as I open my phone to Tyler's message. You know I'm training to hack, right? So technically I should be allowed to break into your phone, for research purposes and practice. She winks at me. You're an idiot. And I am definitely keeping you away from Sierra. She's a bad influence on you. I laugh at her, then look down at my messages. Tyler said to meet up by the student center, and we will run the trails like normal as in quotes. Then we will change and do a real run once we are about 5 miles into the trails. I look up at Osistin, but Mina has to chime in before he can respond. He also said he'll have a bag and would be more than happy to hold your clothes for you while we run. She starts giggling, like a toddler. He wants to make sure he gets to see you naked. I groan. Not a chance. I'm not stripping to shift. I don't have to. Neither do you, remember? She stops laughing for a second, then grins again. It's still funny and kind of cute. He's pretending to be chivalrous while being a total guy. We both laugh, and a clearing of the throat catches our attention. If you two are done drooling, Assistant says. But he doesn't look angry, just like he's rolling with the teenager vibe in the room. Although I don't know if you should advertise that you can shift without changing. I'm not getting naked with these guys. I wouldn't have even if I couldn't shift with my clothes. They are unknown, and that makes me vulnerable. Never gonna happen. If one of you were going as part of the group, or if Xander or Oscar were there, maybe. But they can't be here, and you can't be seen, so no go. We can both do it, so we'll just say it's a pack thing if they even ask. I hope that is enough to finish that argument. Robbie is questionable at best, but I don't get totally safe energy from the other two either. My instincts say to keep a healthy distance, and I trust my instincts. Assistant looks at me for a moment, clearly making a decision of some kind. I don't break eye contact, trying to convey my uneasiness at the situation. He must find what he's looking for, because he just nods. Okay, keep this boy close though. Engage with him and try to get him to talk. Any information can be helpful. Where he's from, what he's studying, family. All the mundane stuff can lead us to more answers. I nod. So, what is on the agenda tonight? Homework, Mina and I say together. I have to maintain my teacher's pet status. I roll my eyes playfully. I can work the teachers more if they think I'm an overachiever. There's also something about my ecology professor. He's not normal, but I don't think he's a bad guy. Based on his appearance and his scent, he spends all his free time outside, and probably in those woods. He might have information too. We have a later start tomorrow, so we could do a run in the morning before we train. He nods and heads towards the door. We are going to go get a patrol schedule going, and then we will bring back dinner and talk about anything new we find. He doesn't wait for a response, just walks out the door with the rest following. I move to sit by Nicholas on the couch and rest my head on his shoulder. He hasn't said much since we came inside. Do you want me to make you some tea or something a little stronger? Mina asks quietly. Stronger would be preferred, but I need my head on straight for this, and if I start down that road, I may not be able to stop. She nods and heads towards the kitchen. I know you just fought it out with Osistin, but do you want to go work out? It always makes me feel better when I'm frustrated. I look up at him from my spot on his shoulder. He huffs a laugh. Yeah, that would probably be the best. It will help me sleep too. or at least settle down enough to rest. I don't think my wolf will let me sleep until we get her back. He rubs his eyes. How long have you known? I ask, and I don't have to elaborate. 8 years. Her coven is near my home. I caught her scent the day she turned 18. She was out in the woods between her home and mine doing some kind of spell. They come of age at 18 too, and get their full strength of magic. Although, from what I have learned, she was like you and showed signs of power earlier than anyone else on record. He looks over at me. What do you mean, like me? We walk out the back door and head to the small clearing just inside the tree line behind our house. Alpha Reggie and Alpha Lucas have kept a close eye on you your whole life from what I understand. Especially after what happened to your mom during your birth. Once Alpha Reggie put the pieces together and discovered your lineage, they both made a point to keep track of you. I only learned about all of this recently, and clearly I don't know your whole story since I still don't understand your so-called bonus features. Even I noticed your abilities at trials and started asking questions. The problem with all of that was that I was kept in the dark until about a year ago. Everyone is always trying to protect me because I am a female, or because of my size. Okay, let me stop you right there. It's a hard instinct to shut down when the initial perception of you is this tiny, quiet girl who apparently lets people beat her up for the fun of it. You have to forgive natural protective instincts. I see red as my temper flares, and I run at him. I go to sweep his legs and miss, but land a punch to the center of his thigh, knocking him down for a minute. It's not the stranger's assumptions that make me angry. I get that. It's the people who know me, train with me every day and still treat me like porcelain, or like I'm incompetent that set me off. Sweep, punch, and a miss. Maybe, like me with Gentry, they can't stand to see you in any kind of harm's way, no matter how strong you are, how strong they know you are. He moves to grab for me, but I tuck and roll under his legs. And you can't really say you don't use your size to your advantage, even if you don't realize it. Like those guys today. Mina is just as beautiful as you, and her personality invites people in. But these guys chose to approach you, the small, quiet, shy girl. You come off as less intimidating, right up until you beat someone's ass with your pinky finger. He laughs as he parries another move. We go on sparring playfully for a little while, until he tries to put me in a headlock, and I kick him in the back of the knee, taking us both down. Then all bets are off, and we are both going full force, sweating, panting, covered in dirt with manic smiles on our faces. He's become like another older brother, and our competitive natures clash frequently. I think that's enough. Sky needs to eat and actually do the homework that will put her in the teacher's pet position. She also needs to check in with the boyfriend. Osistin pulls our attention, and it's enough for Nicholas to get the upper hand. What? I don't have a boyfriend? I grunt from my face down position on the ground. According to the amount of notifications on your phone, I beg to differ. Mina has been eyeing it for an hour. If you don't want her to respond, I suggest you get your butt moving. I launch Nicholas off of me and run for the house, both guys laughing at my retreating form. I barrel into the door, just as my phone indicates another message coming through, and Mina moves to see what it says. Don't even think about it. I laugh at her. You have no idea how torturous this is. I know better, and yet my semi-nosy nature just wants to invade your privacy. She laughs back. Are you really that attention-deprived? Attention, no. Affection, probably. But I wouldn't know because all of that is being suppressed. She groans. I actually just have a good feeling. Or maybe it's a bad feeling. That these guys are involved somehow, and I want to get moving on something other than new versions of schoolwork. She makes a crazy face, and we both start laughing. Well, what does it say? I step away from her so I can read over the messages first. I have no idea what this guy would say, but I don't want something personal or private being seen by anyone but me. Hot ecology guy. We meet up at the student center for a normal trail run. The real run happens about 5 miles in. Hot ecology guy. I bring a bag for clothes if you want me to hang on to yours. Hot ecology guy. Always here to help. Deep. Hot ecology guy. Bonfire after. We take everything out before, so don't worry about anything. Hot ecology guy. We take care of everything. Hot ecology guy. This is Tyler, by the way. Hot ecology guy. Is there anything you prefer to drink? Hot ecology guy. Your sister too. Hot ecology guy. Headed to the gym if you want to join. Seems like your thing. Hot ecology guy. No response and no show. Are you avoiding me? Hot ecology guy. I'll leave you alone for the night. See you in class, Sky. Me, hot ecology guy, presumptuous name, don't you think? Me, not avoiding you. Family stuff came up. Me, Mina, and I will drink almost anything but beer. Hot ecology guy. Well, I'm glad I didn't scare you off. Hot ecology guy. Mike made fun of me for being too eager. Me, if I was in his place, I would have done the same. Hot ecology guy. Am I coming on too strong? Hot ecology guy. I tend to go after what I want. Me, eye roll me, does that line actually work? Hot ecology guy. You tell me. Me, nope. Me, let's start with classmates first. I've known you about 4 hours. Hot ecology guy. How about we start by you coming with me on this run? Me, fine. What time should Mina and I meet you? I wanted to make it clear I was going to be with someone, not alone with him. Hot ecology guy. We meet at 6. Come in workout gear. Hot ecology guy. The smaller and tighter the better. Me, baggy sweats. Got it. Hot ecology guy. Give me something to dream about. Me, I'm sure you have plenty of images to fill your spank bank. Hot ecology guy. Not anymore. You erased them all. Me, that's a good line. You should save that for someone interested in being chased. Hot ecology guy. And waste an opportunity to make you smile? Never. Hot ecology guy. You don't like to be chased? Me. I'm usually the predator, not the prey. Hot ecology guy. That sounds like a challenge. Me. Just stating facts. Ask Mina. Me. I'm changing your contact name to Tyler Eyeroll. Is there a last name? Hot ecology guy. There's only one way I will give you my last name. This boy and his wink emojis are ridiculous. But I know I have been smiling and laughing this whole conversation. He's a shameless flirt, but nothing vulgar or obscene. I think I might actually be enjoying myself. Me? Smooth. Are you just going to keep trying to play me with pickup lines? Hot ecology guy. Depends. Are they working? Me. I am laughing if that was the goal. Hot ecology guy. Ouch. Harsh. Me. I have to run. Some of us have to do homework and care about our grades. Hot ecology guy. I care. This is just more fun and way more appealing. Hot ecology guy. Can I see you tomorrow? Me, maybe. Me. Good night. Dang. He is crushing hard. Mina is sitting on my bed, reading through the messages. Yeah, or he's part of the group that kidnaps girls. Have you thought about that? He's trying to get us out in the middle of the woods alone, and has no real explanation as to where we are going. She looks up at me slowly. But he's so nice. Why would he do that? I don't have any other proof, but that's what I would do if I were in their shoes. Find the most charming of the group to approach people and make it some kind of invite-only thing. It seems legit, and the others talked about it too. But how do we know? There aren't any other wolves we know that run in this circle yet. It just seems too convenient, and I can imagine more desperate girls trying to fit in would jump at the chance to go running with them. They are all hot, and for the most part pleasant to be around. So we are for sure going on this run then. I wonder if they will try and take us Thursday, or if they will bide their time, if you're right about them being a part of the rogue group. No idea, but we should talk to Assistant and Nicholas. It will give Nick something to focus on and hopefully bring us closer to finding Gentry. Then I really do have homework to finish. Were you able to talk them into letting you stop doing the high school work? I can't believe that your teachers back home wouldn't give you a break on that. I don't think it's my teachers. I'm pretty sure it's the principal and one of the board members who just so happened to be the two adults that gave me the worst time while I was in school. You would think that these guys were the teenagers with a grudge to settle. I'm not sure what I did personally to the principal to deserve his hatred. But the board member's daughter hates me with every fiber of her being and has her father on board with matching hatred. It's sad, but I actually understand that motive. She's a good manipulator, and he's a power-hungry Delta that was passed on for his brother, who is far superior as a Delta. I am a Beta's daughter, so I rank higher than both of them, and am friends with all the future leaders and the current Alpha and Luna. Neither of them like that at all. I just roll my eyes. I feel like I have been doing that a lot lately, and I internally cringe at the thought and make a mental note to stop the habit. Damn, no wonder you wanted to get out so badly. She's the reason you have scars, isn't she? It's a question that's not really a question. More of a confirmation. I nod, not explaining further. You do realize that when we go back to your pack, and we will be visiting your pack at some point, I am going to figure out who this girl is and beat her ass, right? I take a deep breath and let it out slowly, fighting the urge to roll my eyes and internally laughing at the stupid struggle. My stomach aches at the thought of going back to my pack, to my friends and my old life. I just don't know if the ache is a good one or a bad one. Why on earth would we go to my pack? Don't you think for a second that you are keeping those fine-as-hell friends of yours away from us, my friend? Sierra needs to see her boy toy. It is all she talks about. And Lillian and I deserve the eye candy experience firsthand. I've seen that picture in your room at the compound. You can't tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. I think a private lesson in the training yard will be needed, even if I can't get excited about a hot boy rolling all over me. My brain can still appreciate the effort. She tries to look serious, but it only lasts a few seconds before she busts up laughing. Also, I want to be there when Miss Wannabe sees you now. If she was intimidated enough by you to harm you multiple times then, I can't wait to see her jaw hit the floor now. She snaps her fingers across herself dramatically, like a drag queen. You are just coming into your hotness. Even Xander and Oscar have made comments. She would never give me the compliment. She's good at hiding emotions when she wants or needs to. And I am not hot. Don't make it weird. I know I don't look terrible. I'm not stupid, and I have filled out a bunch since we started training with the Warriors. But I look no better than you, or Sierra, or any of the other Warriors. And yet, when your boys come crawling on their hands and knees drooling all over you, she is going to lose her shy tea. And I want to be there for that train wreck. She laughs at me again. This time, I don't fight the eye roll as I move to grab my backpack. I am as far ahead in my high school syllabus as I can be, and none of my teachers are going to give me a hard time. Everyone I have right now is actually on my side, and they know what Cunningham has done to me. I am also a sophomore doing senior level and now also doing college level work. But I am not giving anyone a reason to doubt me. Let's go downstairs and let Osistin and Nick know what we think, and I can get started on homework while we talk about what the game plan is for Thursday. Osistin and Nicholas agreed with me that the circumstances were too coincidental to take lightly. More warriors have been posted around campus for our protection. Mina and I even suggested bringing in Wyatt and Nathaniel. They would pass as students and could be in class with us. Osistin tabled that idea for now. He doesn't want to scare the rogues away from us, and if it looks like we have males near us giving off any type of territorial vibes, The rogues might decide we are too much of a hassle to deal with, and we could lose them. The week went by quickly, and I talked to Tyler almost every night through text. Mina said that talking to him on the phone is the next step closer to dating, and I wanted to stay as far away as possible from giving off any of those signals. Text was nice, though, because we could just continue a conversation sporadically throughout the day. If he is just doing a job to get my attention, he is very good at it. They chose wisely in their recruiter. I cannot say the same for Robbie. That boy looks like someone put dog tea under his nose anytime we come near, and I don't know why. Neither Mina or I have gone out of our way to talk to him, but we haven't gone out of our way to be rude either. But Tyler and even Mike have been pleasant to talk to, and they have taken to walking with us to classes, making sure we get there safely, when she and I can't walk together. As the run approaches, I feel myself getting nervous. It's not a real date. Logically, I know that. But this is still the first time a guy has asked me to go do something. The guys don't count. They always did things in a pack and Sierra, and I just became a part of the pack. He invited me, and I decided Mina was coming with me because this ST is scary. I know I told Tyler I would wear baggy sweats, but I have found myself wanting to try a little bit to impress him. It's weird because I don't get the tingly butterflies in my stomach at the thought of him. Or anyone for that matter, and I don't have any urge for him to hold my hand, or any of that mushy stuff. But I still enjoy the attention he gives me. It's a very strange, very platonic thing. I opt for a cropped black t-shirt and gray joggers with my usual running shoes. My very long blonde hair is pulled up into a ponytail. I look like me, just put together. I stopped Mina from trying to put makeup on me. That was going too far and not anything I would normally do anyway. We are going to work out and then shift and run full force. I could not care less about how I look. This was the part my wolf and I are so excited about. We have been practicing the shift while maintaining clothes on and working with our mind link. We have also been going in and out of wolf form during sessions with Nicholas, which has actually been a lot of fun, but we have not run full out since being off the warrior compound training grounds. I'm a little afraid of what my stamina is going to look like, and Mina only laughed at me when I voiced my fears. Seriously? Maybe you will look a little closer to standard warrior. She air quotes at me while using a mocking voice. What are you talking about? You keep up with me just fine. Are you going to show them up tonight? I barely keep up with your slow pace, and that is because my wolf and my ego demand it. And yes, if I have the opportunity to look like a badass in front of these guys, I will. The point is to make them want to be around us, and if they are part of the bad guys, to want to take us. As long as we don't have to spar with them, we will be fine. Showing them our strength will be a bad thing, but being friendly competition to their speed will make them want to chase us. And we both know guys like a good chase. I don't know anything of the sort. Nobody has ever chased me. The minute I said it, a memory flashed in my head. The smell of the damp earth beneath my feet, my heart pumping and just feeling the release of the day's tension. Then hearing the thudding of paws behind me and voices in my head, asking me to slow down and stop, to just talk, after all of their actions that day that caused my pain in the first place. Then shifting in the air on the run for the first time. The exhilaration my wolf and I felt as we worked in tandem and more in sync than we ever had before. Liar. I see that look on your face and it says everything. You are terrible at hiding those deep down emotions. You have been chased and are somewhere in the middle on how you feel about the topic. You had a look of calm and then one of absolute irritation. This is a story to table for a later date and possibly drinks, so you actually tell me the whole damn thing. But now we have a hot date with your hot ecology guy. Let's go. She grabs me by the arm and marches me down the stairs and out the door before I can argue. Osistin, Nicholas, and the rest of the team left an hour ago to get into position. They can suppress their sense so it won't come off as if we are being followed. Since we live on the south side of campus, we chose to drive to the north end to meet up with the guys. We could have easily run it, but I have no idea what is in store tonight and don't feel like wasting energy on a 20-minute walk across campus. We are close, ladies. Just let us know what you see. Hear, even smell. Anything can be information we can use. Keep your links open and we can just listen into the conversations. Assistant advises over the link. Why does that feel like a double-edged sword? I ask. Because you are already super awkward when you flirt. No, we can all hear how awkward you are. Mina so helpfully informs me. Thank you for that. Now it is going to be weird. How about Mina leaves her link open and I will just report in? Not a chance. I want first-person POV on this train. Now I really am shutting you out, jackass. I laugh at Mina. All right, you two knock it off. If it will be distracting, Sky, just report in. But you will have to figure this out. Keeping a mind link open, no matter what you are doing, can be vital to an op. Assistant stops us and brings us back to serious game planning. Understood. But Mina is right, and this whole flirting with a boy thing is hard enough. And I don't want her or anyone else in my ear about it. I say, as we pull close enough to see the fitness center up ahead. We are about 2 minutes out. We are all in place. 2 warriors are currently following you and will monitor the building and your car while you are gone. Alyssa is northeast of you, close to the bonfire site. We followed them in and watched the setup. So far, no signs of anything off. I am to the west of you and will be running parallel the whole time. Nicholas will be doing the same to the east of your position. We won't be more than 5 minutes away from you at any time. Let us know if anything makes you feel uncomfortable. We will get you out no matter what. Got it, Mina and I say together. We pull in next to a big truck. It's not new, but it's well taken care of, and the smell coming from it is from Tyler and Mike. There are days that I do really appreciate my very distinct sense of smell. Tyler and Mike are here for sure. Mike drove them here in his truck. I tell the group, how do you know it's Mike's truck? I just smell them both here. Let's just say I have a unique sense of smell and can pick out different scents, even blended together like this. Mike's scent is stronger on the driver's side. We walk around the truck to the side of the building where more cars are parked, and I can hear a low murmur of voices. Hey, you made it. I was wondering if you were going to stand me up. Tyler comes running over to us. We are right on time, unless you lied to me to try and make us late. Were you trying to avoid introducing us to your friends? I look at him seriously, but smile. Hopefully it came off as teasing. But I'm interested in getting this party started, and I need names for the team to run later. Would you be mad if I said maybe? He bumps me with his elbow as he leads us over to the group, milling about. He hasn't even acknowledged Mina. Something is going on for sure. You brought more girls? There's already too many. A voice whines from the left of the crowd. A platinum blonde bigger than me, but smaller than Mina, steps out of the crowd. Clearly the queen bee here in this group. Janice, this is Skylar and Mina. They are new, and I thought they could use a group to run with, so yes, I invited them. Are you so quick to get bored with the other girls here, Tyler? She's questioning him, but it feels like reprimanding too. Maybe a sly way to let me know he's a player. The problem is, I already know he's a player. She's the idiot, not me. Not bored. Just being friendly. Whatever. Just don't get in our way. We take this run seriously. The last girl he brought couldn't keep up for even a mile. Don't be a little B-teach and stay out of the way, got it? Yep, I responded, popping the pie. Sky, you keep your head on straight. Don't let her bait you into a competition. She's trying to see what you'll do. Nicholas chimes in. Thank you, Captain. I have never been in any form of competition before, where people try to get in your head. I never would have thought of that. This is actually the part I am good at, guys. I appreciate the vote of confidence, really. Maybe, but this is your first op and a little close to home. I just want to make sure you're thinking clearly. Now stop acting like a petulant teenager. You do realize that is exactly what I am, right? Like, literally, a teenager. Shut up, smartass. Go run and show us all how wonderful you are at it. Now who's the smartass? The run was just as expected. We ran on foot as humans for 5 miles, and I discovered I wasn't as out of running shape as I thought. I was able to run with Tyler and keep up a decent conversation as we went. I found out that they do this jog a few times a week, but only shift and do an extra long run on Thursdays. This way, it just looks like they are big on working out and like to party, like the athletes on campus, who are in season and have restrictions on crappy food and alcohol. Actually, some of these guys play football or hockey, which I found interesting since our strength, stamina, and healing is so much different than a human. Mina and I decided to ask about that when we got to the bonfire. It's really pretty here. The trees and the trails haven't started to come alive yet, but the evergreens dispersed within the bare tree trunks give enough color to the drab shades of brown and yellow of last year's vegetation to make the scene pleasant. I also love the smell of the damp leaves and earth as we run. There's just something about the early sunset sending streams of light through the bare branches of the trees that is calming. My wolf purrs in my chest as we go. The darkness that falls pretty quickly doesn't bother even our human eyes. We just keep moving like the light hasn't changed at all. In the 40 minutes it took us to run the 5 miles, the sun is almost completely set, and the twilight gives a consuming vibe. Tyler, Mike, Mina and I were running in the middle of the pack. Mina and I slow as the boys do. At this point, we have no idea what is going to happen, and our latest fan club member looks like someone who would stab you in the throat and then go play dress up. I'm sticking close to the guys for now. I don't need her trouble too. We'll change and shift here. Remember where the new cameras are and stay out of range. Someone is looking for something and I don't want to be on anyone's radar. 'Cause someone here decided to be a dumbass. Got it? She looks around at everyone, but lingers a little longer on Mina and I. Which this time makes sense if she's worried about being seen. I'd look at the new people too, but I would take it a step further and make the new people run with me so I could watch them and guarantee they don't mess up. She clearly doesn't care about us that much or assumes Tyler will take care of us, 'cause she turns her back on us and starts to strip, which is the cue for everyone else to do the same. I can feel my cheeks instantly flame, and I try to look away, but no matter where I look, there are butt-naked people everywhere. Don't be shy, new girls. We don't have all night. Some guy next to Janice sneers at us and then licks his lips. I have to hold back the bile that wants to rise in my stomach. That guy gives me the creeps. Hey, you okay? We do have to move. They'll leave without us. I can block you if that would make you feel better. Tyler's concern is cute, but I can't tell if he's being genuine or not, and that bugs me. I usually have a good read on people, and he just seems to be all gray area for me. Nope, we're good, just waiting on everyone else to be ready to shift, that's all. I give him a small smile. Do you plan on ripping through your clothes? No, Mina laughs, and he just looks at us confused. We don't have to change, you'll see. She winks at him, and he still looks confused, but shrugs. He and Mike strip down to nothing, stowing their clothes in the backpack Tyler brought. I am doing everything possible to not look at either of them. Naked guys are not new to me, but I just can't get past it making me uncomfortable. I hope I'm not this weird about it when I do find my mate. Do I make you nervous? Tyler moves close behind me, and I'm frozen. He is way too close to me for this to be considered anything less than flirting, or maybe even marking territory. Nope. The whole naked guy thing is still just not a norm for me. We don't have to change to shift. I'm sure my slow, controlled breaths make him think I'm lying. Mina, why is he so close to me? It's weird. He thinks you're playing hard to get, So keep your face straight ahead and don't make that disgusted look you do all the time. What look? I don't have a look. You do. I told you. Your face says a lot more than your mouth does. Just keep it neutral, though. He's eating this innocent girl thing up. She giggles at me, then out loud says, "Let's just show them so they are less confused." I nod and I give control over to my wolf to shift while concentrating on all the things Gentry taught us about maintaining our physical appearances while human. The popping and cracking sounds come and go so quickly, I don't even feel it anymore. My wolf shoos out her beautiful black fur. Damn, solid black, that's pretty rare. Tyler sounds impressed, but I can't be the only black wolf out there. "Can I touch you?" he asks, lifting a hand up. My wolf walks over to him, still keeping a foot of space between. She's just as uncomfortable being touched as I am. I don't know if that is a brand thing or an us thing, but I'm glad I can hide my facial features like this. "All right, Sky. Show them how we do this." Mina goads me, and it feels like she's showing off a bit too. My shift back is faster. I'm not as nervous and I can feel Osistin and Nicholas' presence nearby, their auras radiating into me to help me stay calm and do this mission. I stood upright, fully clothed a split second later. "Oh, Shiti," Mike blurts out. "How do you do that so fast? And keep your clothes? Practice." I shrug and look over at Janice, who is standing with Robbie and just staring. "We're ready when you are." I smile a sweet smile at her. I'm in my element now. She can't make me feel inferior. She goes to shift, and the other 20 or so people follow suit. Tyler and Mike shift, and both look over their shoulders at us. We smile at each other and take off in a jog, shifting as we run. I hear a huff behind me and show off in my ear from Nicholas. Mina and I both just giggle and run like we have not run in forever. The wind in my fur, the dirt under my paws. I can feel my claws break into the earth, the imprint my paws are making in the freshly tilled ground. The even cadence of my feet as we dart through the trees, up and down hills, over fallen logs and creeks. At one point, someone nipped at one of the girls in front of me, and a game of chase began. It was clear some of us could talk to each other, but not all of us, so the game was interesting. It became a battle of boys versus girls. Mina and I met up with Janice and a few of her friends at the front of the pack. Her wolf didn't seem to mind us, even if she did. We all started sprinting faster and faster, eventually outstripping the rest of the group, leaving Mina, Janice, and I to get to the bonfire grounds ahead of everyone else. Janice walked over to a bag and shifted back to her human form, and started to get dressed without even looking our way. We shifted and just stood there looking around, waiting for the rest of the group to join us. The bonfire pit was at least 10 feet in diameter, rimmed in large stones and preset with large dry branches, ready to be lit. The clearing wasn't any different from any other clearing in a forest I have seen, but it still left me with a feeling of peace. The woods have always been my safe haven, and everything just feels right when I'm surrounded by the trees and all other sounds are dampened by the debris on the forest floor. You two are really going to have to show me that trick. I know everyone played it off like it wasn't a big deal, but that is some superior level ST right there. Where did you learn to do that anyway? She looks at both of us, and I get the feeling she's listening for a lie. Just training. Mina shrugs. Once we get good at shifting, it's something that those of us who chose to apply ourselves get to learn. Okay, not a complete lie, but not exactly how this works. What about you? Janice looks at me. Why did you put in the extra time to learn how to shift like that? I don't like to be naked in front of other people, so it seemed logical. I try to match Mina's shrug, hoping I pulled it off. It's also nice to not have to carry around a change of clothes. I smiled at her, and thankfully she gave me a smirk back. That's the truth. The humans don't get it, or I would just walk around naked all the time. There's no shame here. She looks pointedly at me. Don't rise to it, little one. She's baiting you, and you will end up giving more information away than you want to. Osistin must feel my irritation, but he's right. She's fishing just like we are. She's just more experienced than I am. More experience doesn't mean better, though. I just give her a small smile. Staying quiet has worked for me so far. I will just stick to saying as little as possible. Then I don't have to remember any half-truths I might be tempted to tell. Thankfully, the rest of the group finally catches up and some shift and change. Others shift and let it all hang out. I guess when you don't have to hide. Some of the guys light the bonfire and everyone settles in around it. Some sitting in small groups, others milling about socializing with different groups. Mina and I decide to sit on the far side of the bonfire, facing towards all of the vehicles, coolers, and the path we took to get here. From here, we could watch pretty much everybody since no one really ventured too far from the drinks coolers. Why does it feel like you two are hiding? Tyler walks over and holds out his hands, showing us he brought us drinks. At least he heard me, and it isn't beer, although I've never had a mixed drink from a can. This should be interesting. We're not hiding, but it is less crowded over here, and we can appreciate the fire better. I don't know if we've actually relaxed since we've been here. It's kind of nice to just sit, I tell him, as he plants himself on the log next to me, leaving no space between us, and I am on the end. So there isn't anywhere to scoot to. So Tyler, you've heard our stories. So where are you from? And why did you join the school in the middle of the year? Mina pushes right on into questioning him. But a comment like that isn't out of character for her here, so I guess it works. Not a lot to tell. My pack was attacked a couple years ago. Only a few of us survived. We met up with a few others who had the same issue. We have been traveling around, not staying anywhere too long. Mike's older brother came out here to go to school and said it was nice, and no one really messed with rogues up here, so we all came up. A few kids started school right away. Some of us got jobs. We're doing all right now. He doesn't look at us while he's talking, just stares into the fire. Didn't anyone come to help your pack? Check on the survivors? I ask, remembering a conversation with Alpha Reggie during one of our training sessions. No one came. A dark look crosses his face. It's almost like he filled with hatred at the memory. We waited for days for rescue or help or anything, but no one came. We buried our own and did the best we could for about a month, but supplies were low, and there was so much destruction that leaving became our only option. He stopped and took a deep breath. When I thought he was going to go on with his story, he shook his head and placed a smile on his face before looking at me. Why forestry? Osistin? Nicholas? Did you guys get all of that? Mina asks over the link, as I divide my attention talking about how much I love being outside and the warriors discussing next steps. You strike me as an outdoors kind of girl. I'm actually surprised you made it through lectures. You look like you're going to crawl out of your skin just sitting there. I do not. I actually enjoy classes and learning, but you're right. I prefer being out here. We banter like that for hours, but we never circle back to the topic of his pack, and I don't know how to work it in to ask the name of his pack. When Robbie walks over with a girl snaked around him like she might lose him if she lets go, I notice the crowd has thinned out. Significantly. We're headed out, you good here? Robbie grumbles his words, not like he's mad. More annoyed that he had to walk all the way over to us. All good. Are Jay and Seth set to close up? Yep. You should probably pack it up. They are looking a little antsy. Like they have somewhere to be, and you remember what happened the last time they rushed their duties. Robbie laughs deep in his chest, and it isn't a pleasant sound to my ears. Something about this guy sets off every red flag radar in my body, but I can't figure out why. Sounds like our cue to leave. Thanks for the run, guys. Do you do this every week, or do we need another invite? I ask, looking right at Tyler as I stand up, stretching my legs. I'm a little sore, but it is the best kind of sore, and I smile at the pull on my muscles. I actually really enjoyed that. It's been a while since I've had the chance to run full tilt like that. You've been invited, so now you're in whenever you can make it. He smiles back at me and steps closer. Later, man, he says, not taking his eyes off of me. I blink a few times, confused, then look around to see Robbie and his girl walking off. I have no idea where Mike disappeared to. A few of the other guys came over to talk to Mina a bit, but no one came near Tyler and I. I wonder if that was on purpose. I pull back from his personal space. I'll see you tomorrow and we will definitely run again. I start to turn to walk away when he grabs my wrist and pulls me back so quickly I barely have time to react. And on instinct, I turn my head to the side as my chest collides with his and his lips connect with the top of my cheek. I was stunned for a minute, not really sure what to do. I just kind of clung to his shirt at his sides and waited for him to pull away from me. He finally huffs a laugh, kisses my temple, and then pulls back. I have some work to do, I see. That's okay. I'm patient. He gives me a wink and then turns around to walk away. Damn, that was hot and you two didn't even do anything. Mina laughs at me. Stop. That was weird and I felt nothing. I'm already awkward. Now I'm awkward with no feelings. I slap myself in the forehead while my friend continues to laugh. We walk down a trail and follow the scents back to campus, not moving slowly. But not in any kind of hurry either. Osistin and Nicholas give us a play-by-play of what happened around them while we were hanging out, and we started to analyze and strategize the information that we are finally getting that we can take action on. Many of the guys that were with us came and went from the party, but were never gone for more than 10 minutes, and they all went in different directions. So that is something we would need to look into further to see if they are just taking strategic pee breaks, hooking up, or if they are up to something. None of the girls left ever, which at a party you would think the opposite would be true. We also needed to look into Tyler's PAC's attack. That is a method we believe the rogues were using to recruit members. What if they were attacking PACs and taking prisoners? And why did no one come to their aid? Did Alpha Reggie know about the attack and ignore a need for help? That doesn't sound like him, but I don't understand how they went so much time without help at all. No supplies in or out of their PAC, no people coming or going? That doesn't sound right. We stay pretty remote from humans, but we still have modern needs that require us to interact with them. How do grocery suppliers and gas suppliers just stop showing up? How did no one notice? We definitely don't have the whole story, and it's going to take time to get those answers. I don't know if Tyler is just omitting things that are painful to talk about, or if the story is false, and he's using something generic to draw us in to trust him. We make it back to Mina's SUV without any problems, and the team is still flanking us out of sight, and they continue like that the whole drive back to the house. Too many questions, and yet we did get a bit of info. The rumors appear to be true, and the Rogue Kings group is attacking and taking on prisoners. The question now is, do your new friends know they have been recruited, or are they acting of their own free will? They also could have just escaped and not known where to go, so they teamed up with whoever was in the vicinity. Mina says out loud to me as we drive.